Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, a otro episodio de los Terrícolas Podcast, el show que te trae nuestras ideas y historias únicas mientras compartimos la tierra todos juntos. Yo soy su locutor Greg y como siempre está conmigo Oscar y Ervin. What's happening, guys? You see what I did that shit?
Estamos compartiendo la tierra a huevo.
You see what I did there?
Pues aquí
You see how I
vivimos.
switched it over? Shit, like this. I practiced that too many times. Too many times. I'm a little ashamed of it. What's going on, guys? Today, we're bringing the energy. You know why? Because you guys. Thank you for all the viewers. We're almost up to, we're like past 50 viewers on TikTok. Followers, actually. So we're almost there. We're almost at 100. Halfway there. So we keep the energy up so you guys
Ya estamos,
can have fun.
como quien dice, ya estamos con la mitad para
Dude,
adentro.
we're there, man. We're almost there.
We actually lost a subscriber on YouTube,
Oh, who doesn't matter?
and it made me a little sad.
But the subscribers don't really matter. I think more like the viewers.
Everybody matters.
So anybody who's watching right now, thank you. You guys are badass, and that's why we keep the energy up. And today is no exception. Because what do we got going today, guys? What do we got going today? Right, hold on. Okay, so look. We're going to be eating some spicy shit. Okay? So these are some vegan nuggets that Oscar has graciously provided. And these are coated with Valentina. Here you go. I'll give
How
you one
much?
to
What's
you.
the Scoville on
So Scoville
Valentina?
Valentina is like around, I think it's like 2,500. But don't quote me on that.
Oh, are we gonna eat it now? Should I eat it now?
So we're gonna
these are like
take a bite of these. We're gonna eat these just to give us a reference. Everybody knows what Valentina tastes like. So all right, here we
No,
go.
not everybody.
Now let me tell you a little bit about the next hot sauce. This is called. You can see it right here. By the way, we're live on Instagram. This is called Mad Dog 357. If you guys watch that show, Hot Ones, this used to be like their, I think third.
Hey, are you sure this is the Valentina one? This is
third-
kind of spicy.
No,
already.
no.
It's
This is
Valentina, dude.
Fuck, dude,
No,
this is
believe
already
me.
hot.
No, believe me, this is Valentina. So this is Mad Dog.
Third to last, no?
Mad Dog 357 is like third to last, and they
That was
always
like the
they
first
always
episode.
update it. So now the reason why it's called Mad Dog 357, a jalapeno is about 2,500 Scovilles, which is about what Valentina is. This is 357,000 Scovilles, and that's not even their hottest one. I believe they make one called Plutonium, which is like a tiny bottle, and it's 9 million Scovilles.
Dude, ya estoy enchilado.
That stuff's not meant to consume like on a daily basis. Like we're gonna eat poison basically. So you think it's already spicy with the Valentina?
I'm scared.
I think you're.
How
like-
much of that chicken nugget are we gonna eat? All of it?
I think we should eat all of it.
All right, fuck it.
So this is coated in. Do you want to smell it, Irvin?
No.
No, you don't. You don't want to psych
I
yourself
just don't
out.
want to get scared.
Okay, I don't want to get scared. So we got ice cream on standby over there, not like a person, like it's actual ice cream.
I don't want to do this.
So go ahead, pick your poison, gentlemen.
Hey, you got the smallest one, dude. Come
What,
on.
bitch? That one's
Yeah,
the
you get the
smallest
little tiny one.
That one is the smallest one.
Here, let me put this plate over here.
You know what? The only thing motivating me. Yesterday, I saw Hot Ones, and I saw Paul Rudd eat.
Yeah, dude, that was a good one. And also Nick Offerman.
If Paul Rudd can do it, I can do it.
My
Paul Rudd-
one of my favorite ones was fucking, what's his name? That's probably my hashtag. What's his name? Hashtag what's his name? Fucking
No, dude,
by
but
Nurchuk. I like that one.
Paul Rudd got through it like a champ.
Yeah,
and
he
in
did.
the end,
He didn't even
licked
drink. He
shit.
didn't even drink milk or anything.
And
But we're not Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's a god.
Because Paul Rudd he's an Ant-Man.
He's
dog.
Ant-Man, dude. He could just shrink and not be spicy.
You could just shrink
Doesn't even make any sense.
and take a tiny ass bite and then go back up.
You
and
know,
like,
they
I
should do
took a bite.
Keanu Reeves on that show. I would watch Keanu Reeves. All right. So, cheers, gentlemen.
No, already?
Hey, dude, we're just
do it.
displaying the inedible, or displaying.
Where's the ice
Displaying
cream?
the inedible.
Where's the ice cream?
It's in the back.
It's over
of
there.
us.
Don't worry. It's right. I haven't. Okay. You guys
Ready?
ready? 1, 2, 3. Irvin. This is bullshit. 357,000 Scoville.
Puta madre, dude. No.
Hold on. Last one to take a drink. Oh, you got the hiccups. Okay, this is.
Ay, con su reputa
Listen.
madre.
Yeah, it's because already drinking shit.
Listen, I'm not even bullshitting how hot this is.
I got the
Like, it's in the back of my throat. Like, every time I take a breath,
I think I'm gonna throw up on you, Greg.
no, don't throw it there.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Irvin, if you throw, you better throw up on the side, bro. If you throw up on me, we're like,
You already dragged it.
Yeah.
I won.
How do they do it on that show?
I'm crying.
So,
I don't like
what's
this.
today's topic, Irvin?
I don't like this.
Irvin, what's today's topic?
Hold on.
We just cleared the room. I'm sweaty. Holy mother God. Oh, it's in my ears. I feel it in my ears. It's in my ear, guys. I have fire. It's in my ears.
I'm sick.
The skies are clearing up.
I'll tell you what. That's some hot shit.
Yeah, that's no
not- joke.
That's not meant for like daily consumption. I was gonna put some in your coffee.
Dude, my throat's really hurting.
Oh, wait, bud.
My throat hurts like a motherfucker.
I'll tell you what, guys. That Hot Ones show
That's
is no joke.
No.
I can't speak for like the last hot sauces, but this was the third to last, and it's killing me.
Hijo de su reputa madre.
And then those people who like eat the whole wing.
It's only getting worse.
Hey, bring a fucking spoon. What the hell's wrong with you?
Why'd you make us do this?
Grab a spoon, man.
I feel like those girls in that Curb Your Meme that that eat the those chili peppers and then they're dying and she's all crying.
Yeah, I touched my face by accident. Don't touch it. Okay. You have more spoons?
You're on the other side.
I don't like this.
I touched my face.
I have a sore throat because I was sick. And this is just like burning it.
Here, stop.
Every time I stop eating, my throat burns.
I touched my face like an idiot. The saliva.
So, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, fuck any plan that we had while doing this.
I've been thinking a lot all week about fucking dealing with depression.
You want to talk right now, dude? I don't want to talk right now, dude.
I'm listening.
How hard it is sometimes, like to snap out of it, and how good it is to have somebody there to help you out with depression. Especially when you start being depressed about about being successful.
Yeah.
About not obtaining that fucking
eye.
success.
I'm trembling.
It's in my fucking eye, guys. Fuck. Keep going. I'm listening.
It's and sometimes I feel alone in this subject, or I feel weak. I feel like I don't want to talk about it because I see other people and like I don't know if they're going through the same thing. I'm like, oh fuck, like I don't want to seem weak to them.
Yeah. I get you.
Dude, I got some in my eye.
My throat's bad.
Don't rub it.
My throat hurts so much.
It's actually going away from me.
You don't have any soap.
You want to put soap in your eye?
Soap in my hand.
My legs are trembling, dude.
I want to put soap in my hand. Yeah, it's dying down a little bit.
Honestly, if they make like some KY out of this, and then like it'll probably spice things up in the bed, literally. Or hey, this one's for Abby. Abby, right?
We basically just ate mace.
Fucking 357 condoms.
We basically just ate mace. Like, that's what mace is made out of, you know? It's made out of capsaicin. Probably. I don't know.
Cripsacy or what's that?
Capsaicin.
No, what's that actor's name? Scorsese.
No, that's Martin. You're talking about Martin Scorsese? He's a director.
So he makes that.
Who directed crap time movies? Taxi, Wolf of Wall Street. Great director. One of the best directors of our generation. Anyway, yeah, man, I feel you.
That's what I was thinking about.
So you're feeling low self-conscious about?
No, I feel stuck.
Okay.
I have a really good paying job and everything, but I feel like I could be doing more, and then I stress myself out, and I'm like,
You're in a rut, man. It's like we were talking about this the other day, and we talk about this all the time. It's that rat race. Like, you think it's not gonna affect you, but we as human beings, I think we're very prone to always like wonder what's next. You know, what's the next carrot? And I think the reason, I think the reason why you feel that way, dude, is because you're not one of those people who like to get stagnant. We come, you know, we're in a Mexican family where we know Hispanics that like to settle. You know, like, this is it. Like, this is where I'm just gonna stay in the zone. And you've never been like that.
You find a job with good benefits and shit,
and you stay there. And that's the rest of your life. But we're from that new generation that we're like, nah, like, why are we gonna stay somewhere we're not happy, you know? So I completely understand why you feel that way.
And I'm the kind of person that, we've mentioned this before, like when it's stagnant.
You want some more ice cream?
When it's stagnant, like I tear apart what I have built just to rebuild it again. Just because.
Oh, I forgot Oscar's not just knowledge.
Just because I feel like it was fun at the beginning, and then it gets boring, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta.
And then you kind of start to try to convince yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like when you say I'm happy, but why do you gotta say it? You know what I mean? Like, because you're trying to convince yourself, like, and then you start going, I am, right? Or like, am I? You know what I mean? And that's when you get fucked up. That's when everything goes to shit, because now you're second guessing everything you're doing.
The chile is all over my face.
You touch your face, dude.
It's like here.
Me duele. My nose up here, everything hurts. And then I touch my eye. So this whole, I have like a red spot. I feel like it's just like a.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
Fuck no. Fuck
So,
that sauce,
Mad
dude.
357. I got it at like $9 off of this website. If you guys want to try it, if you guys like to make like those 5-alarm chilies, a couple drops of that, I think you'll win.
I think Irvin's reaction was the best. Little bitch.
But,
Dude, it's because my throat está toda irritada.
yeah, I know. Irvin's sick.
And my throat.
Hey, but that clear your sinuses, no?
I can smell things I've never smelled before.
Like, my sinuses are so clear right now. Like,
What's up my butt? Car
Dude,
key.
as soon as the ice cream like melts in my mouth, it gets spicy again.
you're like spilling ice cream everywhere.
I'm fucking
My
filthy.
stomach. Oh my God, my stomach.
My stomach hurts too.
It's telling me like, you fucked up. Like, this is not. You weren't supposed to eat that. Like, all of my years and years of evolution of my body's like digestive system is like, we just ate some shit we're not supposed to eat.
More like de-evolution.
It's like, we just ate some shit. We just ate poison. Get ready to fucking evacuate. We need to get this thing out of here.
More like de-evolution is like, this isn't the shit from Walmart. What the fuck is this?
I got like the chills.
All the medical bills?
I feel like shit, dude.
Yeah, that was kind of shitty. I just kind of brought that the whole tone, the whole positive tone that we were having. Now we're talking about depression.
Look, feel me.
The hot sauce is making us reflective on our own lives.
Dude, feel me. Look. Just feel how I'm shaking.
Irvin looks bad.
I'm trembling.
Irvin looks bad.
It hasn't
I'm
gone
concerned
away.
for him.
It
I'm
hasn't-
concerned
it
for you,
hasn't gone
dude.
away.
I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Oh my God.
This is probably the closest I've ever seen to you being like in a shitty mood.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Greg. Right now, I looked at you, And I wanted to punch you. Like, I was looking at your chin, and I was like, I just want to sock this motherfucker in the face for making me eat.
It doesn't help that before we started the podcast, we were talking about shit that we probably shouldn't say. Like we're gonna like air out some dirty laundry. I'm not going to, but
Thank you.
he was over here saying like, "You better not say shit," and then I was like, "Well, you better not say shit." And so we already have a little bit of animosity going here.
Look,
But you know what it is about spicy food that it does kind of make you. I'm like I feel like I'm very open right now. I could just say whatever the fuck
Your
I want.
butthole's open?
I was about to say that. My asshole's wide open.
You know what? I like the topic Oscar was talking about.
Sarah, would you like some hot sauce? Right before work, just take a little finger.
Take a little dab.
No, like really, just
Take
like
a
put
little
your finger
finger?
like that.
Don't do it, babe.
It's hot as hell.
Tell
If you wanna.
Don't do it.
No?
Tell your cousin's girlfriend to take a little finger.
Coughing and gagging sounds like my Friday night.
Right now, the worst thing is my stomach. Dude. My stomach hurts so bad.
Can I get the ice?
Oh yeah, give him the ice.
Bye, Sarah.
Have a good day.
I appreciate you.
Oscar.
What?
I said you're gonna smell Oscar for sure.
I like the topic Oscar was talking about, but I feel like I can't think right now. Can we just talk about something else real quick? Just while this goes away.
Sure.
You want to talk about
Fuck.
first times? Is it coming back?
When's the first time?
Is it coming back?
No, it's just my stomach hurts. When's the first
Can I have
time?
a little bit
It's
of
because my stomach hurt. You can finish it. My stomach hurt since yesterday. Well, since this morning.
So like everybody in the internet right now, I watched the Game Changers, and let me tell you what,
That's nasty, Pepto Bismol.
I fucking
some?
nah. I watched the Game Changers.
What is that?
It's a documentary about how being vegan or vegetarian will help you become a better athlete. Now, here are some key points that they said. A lot of these athletes that came out in the documentary, they were already high level athletes that, switched while they were high level athletes.
Right, they weren't just like sitting around the couches and shit.
Simon,
Wait, what are you talking about, guys?
the Game Changers.
Being a vegan.
Being vegan. That's where it came from. This guy used to actually fight in the UFC, but he left the UFC because he had a lot of injuries, and he was like, "Fuck, well, how can I get better from these injuries?" Like, so he started looking into food, and what food.
Dude, I'm having a really hard time concentrating.
Hey, you better clean the toilet if you throw up, okay? Bitch
throw
ass.
up?
You better clean the toilet
Should we follow him with the camera?
with the live. Follow him with the live. I'd recommend you take like a cup of ice with water. So while I'm here, the Game Changers. They talk about the benefits of being vegetarian and vegan. Of course, I'm a fucking sellout. Like, I'll sell out for sure. Like, I'll try shit out. So, I'm I'm currently plant-based, and I'm not eating any meat. I eat more like a pescatarian type of diet, which I do have byproducts, which are dairy, eggs, and fish, and that's all I've been eating. And a lot of, like I've said before in the other podcasts, like, I'm not trying to sell you guys on going vegetarian or going vegan. And this has barely been about a month, maybe tops a month, and the immediate benefits of going vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian. One is I am more alert throughout the whole day. I'm not trying to digest the food. Now, keep in mind that I was eating about a pound of food, maybe less, per meal. I know last time I said 8 ounces, and I'm saying a pound. 8 ounces of food per meal. So every 2 meals, I was eating a pound of food, and I was eating about 5 to 6 meals. That's not even counting the 6 ounces of rice or sweet potato that I was eating with the food. So a lot of my day was spent just trying to digest the food. And then when I actually got to the gym it required like large amounts of pre-workout for me to even get into the mood of working out. I mean, when I got going, I had so much fuel in my stomach that I could go forever, and I was making real good lifts. Now, so I switch. I make the switch. I'm going more plant-based, eating a lot more carbohydrates, because I would like the usual bodybuilding diet is cut out your carbohydrates, go keto. Like that's the usual bodybuilding diet to shred down, get shredded. So when I switched to a lot more carbs, like a lot more carbs, like let me tell you.
How can you have a fucking serious conversation right now, dude? How are you doing this right now?
I have like way more carbs. Like a cup of rice, 6 ounces of sweet potato, and a cup of lentils. That's one meal, and it keeps me full throughout the whole fucking day. And then another meal, it's 6 egg whites with steel cut oats, and then 2 scoops of protein with a banana and some chia seeds. That's another meal. And then at night I'll have Greek yogurt, a cup of Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein and some chia seeds and almonds and granola. Dude, so I'm getting about
No.
I'm getting about 300 grams of carbs, 250 grams of protein, and like my fats stay like in the 10%. And I haven't worked out in a week. In a week I haven't worked out, and I dropped fucking 10 pounds. Just, and I'm eating. Keep in mind that I'm eating 300 grams of carbs, 200 to 250 grams of protein, and about 11 grams to 20 grams of fats.
So you're saying for you, definitely the diet has made a big difference. Okay.
So my whole point of all of this is maybe, just maybe, it doesn't work for everybody. I think that's what Joe Rogan fights. That a lot of vegetarians and vegans say that this is the way to go, but maybe it's not. Like not for everyone. Right. I think you have to figure out how your body reacts to things, and that's the thing. I've been dieting and fucking with what I eat, what I don't eat, and everything since like 2010. Since 2010, it was like almost 10 years already of me fucking with it, like trying a diet, like trying different diets.
Well, that's what I was gonna tell you too. Like when it comes to stuff like that, especially diet, it's a long-term game as far as like the effects. So like right now the effects are good, whatever. But like you can only speak for the effects now, and I think that's why some people like Joe Rogan always like talk about the controversy. Like we don't. There's not enough like long term.
Well, there is long term because there's been people that have been vegans or vegetarians for the long term, and they're okay. All right. They speak a lot about minerals that you're missing, but we're deficient in B12 regardless. And I've always supplemented ZMAs, which are zinc, magnesium, and adamantium.
Adamantium.
Something else. Magnets? I can't remember. And then I also drink NAC, which is it helps you with your fucking digestive system, and I think your insulin. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. I have the bottle there. I should check it out because I'm fucking chopping it up. NAC and DHEA. DHEA is actually a fish oil. Okay. Which is really good for you. Okay. So my whole point is like definitely try it out. Like The Game Changers is a really good documentary, and it fucking opens your mind. Now, like old school bodybuilders, Dave Palumbo, he made his own reaction video to the Game Changers, and he was like, he wasn't even bashing it. He was just like, you know what, like, he's a really big keto advocate. But he's all like, there's benefits to all the diets. Meat eaters, omnivores, like being. So for us to say that we're herbivores, like, it's like no, because supposedly we're omnivores.
Right.
I don't know. It's
I heard like some of the argument is like, if we're omnivores, then how come we're not going out there and like catching squirrels and eating them raw or some shit?
Oh, that's gotta be the stupidest argument ever.
because we're not.
It's like saying like, oh, when you drive by a cow, you're gonna get down and take a chomp off of it.
Right.
It's like, dude, like
We're not
you're
animals like
fucking
that.
stupid. Like, are you gonna eat your fucking cat and your dog? Like dogs chase cats and they fucking bite. Like they.
Well, I mean, I've never
dismantle
I've
them.
never seen a shark, like come out of the water with a grill and like fucking,
You can't really
like
see-
fucking grill up
Look,
some
The what?
some squid.
You can't really see her.
Oh yeah, you're kind of off the shark.
Dude, I'm barely like coming back. I have no idea what the fuck Oscar
That's
has
okay.
said this
That's
whole
all right.
time.
We'll keep it going for you.
So-
no, I was gonna ask you. I actually had a question relating to what you're talking about. Do you think it's because I was thinking about this the other day because I have a friend who was telling me about his wife and like he was on the keto diet and it wasn't, not that it wasn't working for him, but like he was kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And then his wife is doing it and she's like just kind of gung ho about it, but it had only been a couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
she said that she was feeling dizzy and
Well,
stuff. And I was
'cause
gonna ask you, do you think it's advisable? Because they always say this, but I hardly ever hear anybody actually do it. Do you think it's advisable to actually go to your doctor and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this diet?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
There's nutritionists that can help you out, and they help you out good if you do it the right way.
Right.
Instead of like listening to me or a YouTube video, like if you do it the right way and
'Cause
actually
everybody's
get
different, you know.
get
Dude, my
blood
stomach's
work
burning
done.
still.
Because you imagine you go and you get a study and it's like, well, you're deficient in this, and if you do this diet, you're gonna be restricting yourself even more.
What,
My
Irvin?
stomach hurts like a motherfucker.
You need to go to the bathroom.
I think I need to fucking go to the doctor and shit, dude.
Really, dude?
No, he doesn't.
No, you're fine.
There's like this pain.
Yeah.
right
Of
here.
course.
That's how I feel too. Yeah.
Here, what's here?
The
Your
stomach.
I don't know, your intestines,
I
probably.
get- I
You
get
just
sick.
need to shit it out, dude.
You're fine, dude. You're worried. You want some Tums?
I think I need surgery.
You need to remove.
Hey, I'm gonna do it like Ace Ventura whenever he shoves his hand down the
Yeah.
lady's
I'm-
mouth.
I'm-
So definitely do fucking go to your physician. Now, thank God, I'm gonna switch from HMO to PPO because my cheap bastard ass, he's all like, "Oh, I'm gonna save $5 by not paying for PPO," but HMO covers only like major fucking expenses.
Yeah.
It doesn't cover like regular ass visits. So I'm gonna switch to PPO and go get blood work done. And
Oh, this
then
is your spoon.
I think my stomach's really hurting.
Yep.
just so I can get a better idea, because there is blood type based diets, like based
Okay.
upon your blood type, like these certain things you can eat and these certain things will actually diminish your productivity, your output, everything.
Right.
So definitely going to a physician, that's somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're doing,
Yeah, like
and
not-
getting blood work done will always help. This is like I said, this is just me doing shit based off of what the fuck I feel and like
Yeah,
trial and error. Now, I do have a conscious approach as to what my family history is. Like in my mom's side, there's actually not a lot of history as far as diabetes, high blood pressure, fucking what else? I think that's it. That really plagues my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
High blood pressure and diabetes. Now on my mom's side, like what I've seen the most is like
Take a shit, guys.
Go for it.
go for it. Like I'm not gonna say they're crazy, but they deal more with like psychological
Okay,
things.
I get you.
They that's more of, I don't know if it was because we go back to nature or nurture. Like I don't know if it was because of the way they were raised or the shit that they went through, or just nature. Like there, like something happened where they have more problems as far as psychological, like dealing with problem situations, like shit like that. So, definitely, those are the two things that I keep in mind when I'm going through a diet.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, like my insulin levels really get affected when I eat less carbs or too much carbs.
Yeah.
Or I eat this, I eat that. Like, how do I feel after eating certain things? And does it have to do with my family history of diabetes and high blood pressure?
That drives me crazy because my mom used to be in those diets, and it's like I feel like you're the last person that should be just winging a diet. You should definitely go to talk to somebody because she would just go on like all these fad diets, and then she feel like shit. I'm like, well, yeah, because you're not, your shit's not working right already. Oh my god,
What? There's like chili stuck in between my teeth.
dude, I might actually puke. This
Oh my
sucks,
god,
dude.
you guys are gonna fuck up my restroom.
This sucks.
You guys are gonna clean my restroom. I just cleaned it. You guys are gonna fucking clean my restroom. You guys bomb it and puke and shit. Oh my god, there's ice cream on the floor.
Yeah, Irvin did that.
You guys suck.
Dude, this is
I'm the biggest bitch for hot sauce, and I'm like, my stomach does burn. Like it does burn, but it's not like I'm not that bad. But I don't eat a lot of jalapeno. I'll tell you that much.
I think it reached a part of my stomach, like a new part of my stomach, because I was fine a second ago.
Gastritis. My family also. My mom. It may have to do with the fat diets that you were saying.
Yeah.
Like gastritis, colitis. What is that other? Your thyroid problem.
What did you say, Irvin? Hepatitis.
Nah, not hepatitis. Just because it rhymes. Syphilitis. Are you gonna puke back there? These guys are being fucking faggots. Oh, and Sarah and I were talking about that word too. Okay, let me tell you that story. So, I was working, right? I work for the gas company. We were at a house, and we get there, and this person has they have a lot of Halloween stuff up, but then it also looks like a lot of the stuff stays there like year round. And he was bumping music like kind of pretty loud. So I'm pretty sure that's where this stems from, but it doesn't give them a right to react the way that they do. Like this lady was like, sí, este maricón, ahí viví un joto. Ya, cuidado, viví un puto. And I'm like, holy shit, like, why, like, you cannot talk like that, like, out loud of people. Like, you can't say that, like, there should be a repercussion. And me being the bitch that I am, I didn't say anything. Like, I should have been like, ma'am, like, that is offensive. Like, don't say that. And then, so it slides, it goes away. And then an old man comes around, he's all talking about gas issues that he had before. And then he's all like, yeah, the guy that lives here, yeah, he's a fucking faggot. Like, he said it like that. Like, he didn't say it in Spanish. He said it like that. Oh, yeah, the fucking faggot that lives here. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, how many steps back have you taken in consciousness that you have to speak about people that way? Like, and they're right there. Like, that irked me so bad. Like, to hear it that way, like, no respect. And I was by the east side Montana, really close to the 375, 375 in Montana.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way. Like, that is terrible. Like, and then he's a transvestite. So he lives there. Like, I can just imagine his daily life. Like, and I was talking to my coworker, and he was saying, like, he has all that stuff in the front, and like he blares the music because he just wants companionship. Like, he wants attention.
Yeah.
But he draws that wrong attention from these people.
It's sad that even today, like, that there could still be that. Because I feel like the respect is respect, dude. I don't think it has anything to do with. You should.
Dude, you're sweating.
It should be. Despite like your.
Like, regardless of who you are, what you do, or whatever, like,
deserve that same
there's
level,
a minimum of
Why
respect.
can't we treat each other the way we want to be treated? Like, I feel like that is respect, right?
And
what does it matter?
And me as a utility worker, like, I cannot have a moral say in the way I handle myself in public. Why? Because it affects my job. It affects shit like that. And it kind of disappoints me that I didn't have the balls to say, like, hey, excuse me, that's wrong for you to speak that way. Like, and it kind of makes me think also, like, man, like, this person should just move to Austin. Like, that's one thing that I learned from Austin. Like, they were really open-minded and really they had open arms for anybody. Doesn't matter what you look like, who you were, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
open arms, man. Like for everyone. And I'll tell you what, Austin is a little slice of California. Really progressive, really awesome.
Are you almost done? You're almost done?
So definitely, some some people from El Paso need to move on from that old school mentality. Like, cause you're affecting the way that everything, the
Slowing shit
synergy,
down. You're slowing it down a little bit.
the synergy, yeah, and the progression of El Paso.
Yeah.
Like you guys are slowing that down definitely 100%, and kudos to everyone that's made the difference and moved on. Like my parents, they're old school, but they started accepting it more. And you know what? El Paso's really repressed in the sense that you don't see a lot of transvestites out and about. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see a lot of gay couples like out and about because they know that they're gonna be like a lot of
Judged or something.
not everyone. Let me put that out there. Not everyone, but a lot of people are gonna be like, mira, los jotos están besando y blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, like, just let them do their thing, like. Cause Austin is moving on, dude. Like moving on, technologically, fucking just everything, man. Like the economy, is really moving on. And my coworker also said, I think he thinks that it has a lot to do with the economics here in El Paso. Maybe we don't have a lot of people doing as good as Austin, and it kind of retraces that mentality, like of progression, of being more open minded. And I can see it a lot with people being mad at like orange barrels or orange cones or like construction. It's like, bitch, it's to better the city. Like it's to keep you safe. And a lot of people get pissed when we're out there working, and they're like, what would you rather, like, smell the gas and maybe have an incident? Like, what do you mean? Like, and they get upset and they're like, oh, ¿pa qué vinieron? Like, why are you here? And you're tearing up my yard and all of this shit. Is like, fine, like, we'll leave the gas leak. Like, is that what you want? Like,
Dude, the fact you're a hero today.
why?
You're carrying this whole podcast just on your shoulders.
Honestly, I just had a lot to talk about. Like, regardless of the fire pit of my fucking in my stomach, regardless of that, it's like a little troll with like a lighter, just like burning up my stomach.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. Like,
I feel like I have a map of my stomach now because I could feel the chile going through each part, and now I can visualize it. Because there was this little part where I know it narrows. Now I know there's a narrow part right here because I think all the chile was just flowing through it, and it was just touching all of the little side walls, and it was burning. Like, I think that's the part that Greg's going through right now.
can you feel my chile? You want to feel my chile?
But dude, fuck, man, that shit. Did he say he touched his face again? Greg, are you throwing up? Oh, okay. I thought he was about to put his face right where my ass was, just taking his shit right now.
Either way, yeah, the orange barrels and everything. And over there in Austin, dude, like, let me tell you what, these are $1 million homes, and we would tear up their yards, and then these people would actually come out there and feed us and be nice and everything.
Yeah.
Because they knew that we had to do our jobs regardless. And over here in El Paso, like, you make one hole and they want you to repair the whole house. The whole house is like, nah, dog, your house was fucked up before we got here. It's not our fault that you're a piece of shit and you don't upkeep your house. Like, we're just trying to do our job, and definitely we will restore to how it was or better. That's the guarantee. But yeah, it's a different mentality. It all like, this conversation stemmed from that interaction that I had with these people of just being relentless, like, and out in the open, man, like, not even like quietly, like over here to the side. No, this lady was all like, sí, háblenle a la policía, porque ahí está ese puto, ahí vive ese joto.
Damn, dude.
And I'm like, lady, like
'cause-
you're gonna pay. You're like, I believe I'm gonna, like, I keep saying it, but I believe
Karma?
in karma, and it's gonna come back. And karma's a bitch, man, and everything that she put this person through, like, you're gonna pay for it. I know you're gonna pay for it. I hope you pay for it.
Think about what got her that way, though. Like what makes a person turn into that? You know, because you're not born that way. I think people are born
Nurture.
a certain way. They're I was thinking about the fact that I grew up without a father, and that I didn't have all of these. Because you know how big of an influence your father is on your life as a young man, even an older brother, how big of an influence is. And it's like they instill all these values in you, like maybe homophobia or machismo or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you then have to be like, you know what? Who am I? Let me erase all of these things that have been instilled in me by my hero.
Yeah, and
that I
create
grew up
myself,
with,
yeah.
and create myself. So I don't know if like it is like that for a young woman as well. I don't know who they're, but for like a young man, actually that was the topic I wanted to talk about today.
It just tied right in.
Yeah. Should we wait for Greg?
No. Keep going.
Okay. So the topic was I wanted to discuss some pivotal moments in your life that you can remember altering your entire present, where now you're like looking back at that moment and you're like, that moment. When he ate this hot sauce is what they're saying.
You know what?
Because
a lot
I have
of
a strong one, dude. Can I say mine real quick?
yeah, go for it.
So watch.
Okay, let's talk about mine. Nah, just kidding.
So I mean, of course, there's several in everybody's life.
Yeah.
It's not just one, but this weekend, me, Cindy, and Diana were watching this movie called American History X.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
Hell of a movie, dude. Edward Norton, great actor.
He dropped the fish that's in the back. I heard it. I know that's what it is because I always drop it. Anyways, go for it.
And then, so that movie, Kali showed it to me, I believe, because that movie came out like in '89, and he showed it to me. And for anybody that doesn't know, my brother was in prison for about 8 or 9 years.
Are you gonna start curb checking people or what?
Oh, I was fucked up in that scene.
Bite the curb.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
And I kind of relate a little bit with that movie, not because my brother's a Nazi, but just because he went to prison and because I grew up without a father. And in a way, Kali was like a role model to me, you know, growing up when I was like 6. Because he went into prison when I was like 6 or 7 years old. So I do recall, like, when I was a little kid, just looking up to him and be like, oh, that guy's cool. And then, you know.
When he went away.
Yeah, he was just involved in a lot of gang activity and shit. But and the premise of that movie is, so the older brother is a hardcore neo-Nazi, because it just shows kind of like the throw up and regurgitation. I mean the regurgitation of bad information, bad culture, bad vibe, like racism, all that shit. It goes from the dad that throws it up in the little kid's mouth, and the little kid swallows it up, and then they're like racist and mean and hateful, and then the kids of that kid then see. It's just like an effect. Fucking,
it's a chain.
It's a chain, dude. So then in this movie, the dad was kind of a racist, and then the dad gets killed. He was a firefighter, and it happened to be black people that were involved, and not even the black people didn't even kill him, but they were like, I guess, there. So it was easy for the son, who was already inclined to become a Nazi, to hear that, and then he was kind of a leader, which he had a leader mentality, which Kali has that kind of leader mentality where people for some reason
Like
follow him and gravitate towards him. And my brother again, and so I kind of saw that from him too, and this guy started killing people. He shot people. The guy in the movie. And that scene that you're saying, how he fucking put some guy's mouth on the curb and just kicked it, like I saw that shit when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I was like, fuck, dude, that's hardcore. Yeah. And then he went to prison, and in prison a lot of shit happened to him, and he got out, and he was a changed man, and now he was trying to change.
Well, in prison he got raped.
He got raped
by a white guy, right? And his only friend was a black guy.
Yeah, exactly. So then he developed. His mind was altered. He was
like, fuck, like everything that I believed is not true.
Exactly.
Like, it's bullshit.
Like the white gangs in prison for him weren't following the rules that they were supposed to. Like they would sell drugs to the Mexicans, and they were like, it was just all not like white pride
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So then the way got that for my life was that was a pivotal moment in my life when Cali went to prison, because when he went in, I was about 6 or 7, and I think that was barely the time where you're starting to find out about yourself, like 6 or 7. You're barely becoming conscious. I get like not conscious, but you know, like when you go back and you think of some of your oldest memories, like what age is that at? Like for me, it's like 7, 8, 9.
I can remember things when I lived in Fabens, like
Yeah.
3 or 4.
3 or 4 that
Yeah.
young? Yeah, but you see, like, so I'm glad, in a way, like, not that I'm glad he went to prison, but if he had maintained those ways and I was present during that time,
You probably would have gone the same.
that could have changed my
Same
whole life,
route.
dude. That could have, so that was a huge pivotal moment for me, because when he went to
You
prison.
think it was a huge pivotal moment for him?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, it was. He lost all of his 20s in prison, which sucks. Imagine all your 20s.
But he came out and he's reliving everything.
Yeah,
Like
it makes me real happy
he's
now.
going out. He's going all out. That's what I admire from him. That he came out and he's living life very preciously. Like it's like because he understood that when he was in there.
Yeah.
So he's doing everything that he can. He's doing everything that he can on a daily basis to fulfill every like his whole desires.
Yeah, it makes me real happy to see him travel, and because the guy literally spent 10 years in box. It's like a dog chained up, like you were talking about last time. So it's good to see him free, you know?
Yeah,
And
congratulations to you, Carlos.
yeah, man. I don't say it a lot, but I am proud of him.
Yeah,
it's just that he's a
definitely.
douche a lot of times. He's a little fucker. So I don't tell him.
But that's his personality,
Yeah.
and he has to be that way, because if not, he wouldn't be able to put out the music. He wouldn't be able to do the YouTube videos or nothing like that, because it takes a thick skin.
It's just who he is.
Yeah, it takes a thick skin, and you do really have to be imposing and out there.
Yeah.
To be able to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people view it as like, oh, this guy's a fucking asshole, like shit like
Yeah.
that. But a lot of your fucking artists or like entertainers, or like The Rock is the nicest person, but he has his moments where he's like, he's a douchey guy.
Yeah.
But that's just how it has to be, like,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, so
Or fortunately.
when he went to prison, I just remember we moved to the east side of El Paso, which for anybody who doesn't know is like a little more like preppy people, like
Monwood, Americas.
yeah,
El Dorado.
a lot less gang activity than in the lower valley. There was a little more shit like that, and I'm just thinking like
It's just like if you think about it, is social classes. It's more middle class or poor people
Yeah.
down here in the valley. There is always the exceptions. There's people that do extremely well. There's people that have it together. Like definitely 100%.
So I was around more people who their parents had good jobs, had like stable careers, and they had passed that on to their kids.
Yeah.
And the kids, some of my friends, are the reasons I even like would go to class or try a little harder is because my friends were doing stuff, and I was like, oh well, I want to be like my friends. Let me do it too. Like taking college courses in high school, and it was like, oh, that's the thing my friend's doing, so fuck it, I'll do it. So you are really a huge product of your environment. And I'm just thinking like, what would have happened if my brother had gotten away with whatever he was doing? He would have still been maybe developed into a bigger role model in my life, and I could have maybe gotten into, because it just takes one moment for you to fuck up, and then your future's kind of ruined. Like, I happen to have a gun for a moment. I get caught. That's a charge. And with that, you have a hard time getting jobs. You have a hard time.
Felony.
Yeah,
That's a
like
felony.
it's
Felonies are really, they're hard on your record.
Yeah.
Because they don't go away.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I was able to develop my own personality, although it was difficult because I really didn't have a male role model. That's why I was so fucking shy when it came to like women or girls, and like I would blush like even at the sight of a cute girl, because nobody ever taught me, you know.
Yeah.
And then it was funny too, because when he got out of prison, I already kind of had my identity. Like I mean, at least like the base, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, you're still finding your identity throughout life, but and I remember, I think for a little while he was trying to not be a father figure, but kind of like, be a big brother.
Yeah.
And I did resent that a little bit for I remember one time we were in the car and he was trying to tell me something and I just got out of the car and I don't know exactly what I said, but I was like, "You're not my dad" or some shit. And then like I just walked away. It was, a childish
It was
moment.
it was a cool moment for you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dad.
Fuck you, you're not my dad.
I'm saying this because I love you. Fuck you.
But yeah, so I remember that moment. And because Cali does have a very like strong personality,
Yeah.
And of course in prison you develop that. And with him, I remember it was either like you do what I'm saying or it's like violence. So I'm sure there was several times where he held back,
Punching
from being
you or some
violent,
shit.
But violence really usually doesn't lead to anything.
Violence leads to more violence. Like it just gets worse.
Yeah, so I became a little rebellious during that time, and I was like hanging out with Ralphie more often. Like I would tell my mom like I'm just gonna leave the house. I'm not gonna, I was just
Like I'm gonna do my own thing.
I'm gonna do my own thing. How you feeling, Gray? That was bad, huh? Did you take a shit?
Yeah.
I didn't really.
That was the one that was due from the pizza.
Dude, I don't know if like the worst part was the actual mouth or the stomach,
It pushed everything out of me.
because it still kind of hurts.
All over me.
Oh yeah, so I don't know if you were listening, but we're talking about pivotal
Yeah,
moments.
I heard you.
So
Talking about
So for me,
cowardice.
one of my like the pivotal moment, it happened for my mother,
Okay.
because my dad has always been a hard worker and he's always provided, like we've always leveled up, always leveled up because of his hard work.
Right.
But he really didn't have a lot of core values to provide, because he was providing the essential. He was providing monetary. He was providing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was up to my mom to provide the emotional, the nurturing, all of that. And
I'm sorry, dude. Just pause real quick. I'm sorry. Which memory card are you using?
Yeah, we're using mine.
Oh, okay.
Anymore.
I'm sorry, Oscar. Continue.
and then
So he wasn't providing the.
well, it's not that, okay. It's not that he wasn't providing, but it was more stern. It was more like get over it. Like you're
Yeah.
a boy. Like that's it. So
Like father love.
he was there. He was there, definitely, 100%. I'm not trying to shit on my own dad. Like
No, of course not.
fuck you, dad. No,
I always loved your dad. I always tell you he's my favorite uncle.
and he got better. He got better at opening up his heart. But my mom taught me that first, to always always do the right thing, and karma. She taught me karma from a really young age. She would always tell me like, si haces eso, va a pasar así. Like I'm telling you, like I know this shit.
Moms do that,
And then
and you hate it because you're like, no, mom, you don't know.
so
I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do it my way.
yeah,
and then it happens.
vale vergas todo el tiempo, vales verga. Y siempre decía, I would get home and be like, pues tu pinche culpa, culera, porque tú me echaste la sal. And then, wait.
Por eso pasó eso, porque tú dijiste, si no hubiera hecho nada, cabrón, no hubiera pasado nada, chingado.
Because even when we had nothing, and we were living in like, a little house, my mom managed to always give my uncles, my grandpa, something. And then later on in my dad's life, when he started making really good money, he did that a lot more. He would lend out money. Sometimes people wouldn't pay him back.
Yeah.
So I learned that from my mom first, and then my dad applied it later on in his life.
Yeah.
So in my life, I started doing that more, giving more, and I always realized that there was a return on it. Eventually, somewhere down the line, I would get a return on it. So that was a huge moment for me, because it happened throughout my whole life. I remember in high school. That's when, in my senior year in high school, that's when I started being more to myself, instead of always trying to be in the crowd, be in the it crowd, or hang out with the people that were like going through the fad. Mm-hmm. I started like distancing myself, and there was this moment where First Sergeant Decatur, he was selling candy. And that man had a lot to do with the way that I am right now. For Sergeant Decatur, shout out, badass motherfucker. Anyways, he left, and some guys were like started stealing all the candy, And I'm like, God, like, fucking assholes. So I paid for all of their candy. Like,
Damn, dude.
I paid for all of them because I'm like, that's bullshit. This man does nothing but good.
Yeah.
And he is nothing but good. And these guys are paying him back with this shit. Like, fuck that. And from those point on, like, I started being more giving. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't have those moments of selfishness or shit like that. And then I reflect on it like, fuck, like, I did act or I did do something selfish. When I was young, I used to like to take shit. I loved taking shit. I don't know why. I had sticky ass fingers.
I think you stole a few of my things.
Ah, fuck
And
yeah,
I didn't. I was just like, what the? Where'd it go?
dude.
Oh, Jesus.
I had sticky ass fingers, and then later on in my life, like shit would go missing from me. Like I take something, and then something would go missing.
Yeah.
Or if I would take something, like that would go miss. That thing that I took
Yeah.
would go missing within a week.
It was like that karma shit.
See, so I was like, okay, like I need to fucking stop doing that shit because, first of all, it's no good, and it translates as small as it is. It translates to your jobs, to your fucking relationships, and people don't like that shit, man. Like nobody likes their shit getting taken away, like you know. So
Right, Irvin?
Yeah.
so I learned a lot from that moment in my life.
So then,
from my
Remember
mom.
when
Yeah.
they stole your stereo from your tiburon?
Oh, they broke the window and they took the stereo. I wasn't even mad. I was like, oh fuck,
I was
that
like, who
sucks.
does that
I got my
anymore?
stereo stolen too.
Oh,
Who
remember
does that
when they were
anymore?
breaking into the Civics?
Yeah. Yeah, they broke in. I think they would have stole my car if it wasn't for that kill switch I had on it. So they weren't able to turn it on. Because once you remove the stereo, the car wouldn't turn on anymore. I got that from good old Wes, Cali's homie. You remember that guy? Wes? Did you ever meet him?
I don't think I met
No?
him.
Yeah, this
He,
was
told,
like...
he recommended you to that.
This guy was a total audio expert, and he somehow managed to make it so that you had to put the face of the stereo into the thing for the car to turn on. It was pretty dope, and I had a kill switch in the bottom too.
Pretty smart.
What was your that was a badass pivotal moment,
Yeah.
like for your mom to teach
Very
you something like
inspirational.
such a strong lesson like that.
Karma.
Yeah.
She pretty much taught me karma.
Dude.
And even up to this point, even
still
if she's
carries on.
struggling, she still does it.
Yeah, and it still carries on with you.
It still goes. And my dad's learning that we're like so alike, fucking hard headed as fuck. But he's learning that in his old age, he's learning that.
But what were you? You didn't really. You kind of made a point about your dad, but then you deviated a little bit.
Because he really, like I was saying, like I mean, he would tell me like stealing is bad, like this is bad, like that. But he was just direct, man. He's black and my dad is black and white.
Yeah.
But the way that I'm structured,
So he's Asian.
just kidding. So the way that I'm structured is totally different, and my mom understood that from me at a young age.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. From a young age, my mom understood that I was just wired differently. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't that type of person to be like black and white. She'd have to like explain shit and teach me shit like on the job training. Like that's what she had to do with me. Because I was not gonna understand her if she would tell me like this, like that. I'd be like, well, why the fuck? Like, porque chingados?
She was.
So my mom understood that from me at a very young age. So shout out to my mom. Like, if she would have been like, fuck it, give them the pills, like, give them the pills and take them to therapy from a very young age,
The live
it
video
would have been
ended.
different.
Yeah. It was kind of like you had to learn your lessons for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have to.
Yeah. See, and I find that with a lot of parents, how they're a little bit overprotective. And they're like, no, I need to teach them this, and I need to stop them from doing this. Sometimes you gotta let your kids make their fuck ups.
And you know
because
what?
They learn from it.
As scary as it is, it might happen like God, knock on wood, that an accident ends up happening where he passes away or she passes away or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what? That's life, and you have to let life happen to them. If not, it's never gonna happen.
You
Finding
can't
Nemo.
bubble wrap your kids.
If you, yeah, can't let nothing happen to him because then nothing will happen.
Yeah, definitely, and you can tell, like, interactions with people that have been sheltered. Like you can tell, like oh shit, like they have like some sort of social anxiety or like, fucking
another one.
just conversations are different. Like you can tell right away. And with
We're
me,
back.
with me is more like it's like yeah. Sometimes I'm an asshole. Sometimes I say shit I shouldn't say. Like
Why do you feel that way though?
um
Is it just like your energy? You just have such high energy.
yeah, definitely. Like I come in the morning. Doesn't matter if it's a Monday, a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like or Saturday work because I do Saturday work.
Yeah.
I'm hyped. Like I'm
You
like
do have- you have
let's-
high energy, dude.
Let's fucking do this, and then people get upset because I'm hyped. And like I come in on Monday and I'm like fucking throwing shit around and be like fuck yeah, and then everybody's like with their carotas and like
Yeah.
oh you're being too loud, and I'm like dude we're already up. Like are you gonna wait till 12 till like midday or 2 to be hyped?
I think you're the most energetic person that I've ever met in the morning. You're like the epitome of a morning person.
I like that.
You've always been that way, huh?
Yeah,
I remember
It's because I like to get my day started off early.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But you have
That's good.
energy. Like
Yeah.
as soon as you fucking, do you just wake up hype?
Yeah, every morning I wake up and Sarah's asleep and I'm like nah bitch, like you gotta get up.
Yeah.
And I shake her up and like I put on music and like I'm over here singing and shit.
You don't give a fuck about her.
Nah,
sleep?
fuck no.
He's like, I got 2 hours of sleep. A la madre, levántate. Almost.
That's her fault. That's your fault you didn't sleep, bitch.
And then at night you get all fucking down. You're always just like
At night I'm like, all right, powering down.
because you go through so much fucking fuel throughout the morning. So like, what's your peak? Like when you're like already in the
Like
day?
around 7.
And we're back. That was a weird transition. Sorry about that. Memory card ran out. But we got to finish. You got to finish what you were gonna say, right?
My pivotal moment.
Your pivotal moment.
Yeah, and you're talking about your energy
I
levels,
was-
how they peak
Right. And you don't give a shit.
2 p.m. and they stay, and then you go back up.
And you go back up.
But yeah, so
And
we're
I-
moving on to Gregorius.
Yeah, and this is good because he had left when I was saying my shit. So I was talking about me joining the military, but more precisely, like when my daughter was born, because like I had
You're one of those guys.
I had already. Oh, so basic. No, because I had already.
Why is Oscar always not in the shot?
I had already
Yeah.
kind of made up my mind that maybe the military wasn't for me. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
but like, I was still kind of like on the fence about it because we were talking about that before, like how I was like I had a job and I was like maybe I could just stick around, you know.
Yeah.
But when she was born, that's when I was kind of like, oh shit, like my priorities completely shifted. I don't know if you guys remember. That's around the time that I started calling you guys and I was telling you how I wanted to go back home.
Yeah.
And because what happened is that I noticed, like, I was like, my family, dude, like, family is really important. Like, I didn't realize how important it was until that moment when my mom couldn't go see her granddaughter. You know, like, we had to just do it on FaceTime or whatever, and she couldn't afford to come all the way over here. My dad couldn't see her, and you guys couldn't see her. And I was like, okay,
We
I
still don't
got
see
to
her.
go to work. Yeah, right? I know, she like, lives right there.
It's
But you know what I'm
so
saying?
far, dude.
But you know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
Doing this podcast has allowed us to just hang out like we
Right.
used to. We have like a cool reason.
But
to
that
just
was one
fuck
thing
around.
that I thought about too. I was like, damn, like she's never gonna meet, like she's not gonna be able to hang out with Oscar and Irvin.
Yeah.
And like I haven't even been able to hang out with Oscar and Irvin. Like
Either
it just
way.
got me like really nostalgic.
Yeah. Right now, she probably won't remember shit about us, anyways.
Nah. And if she sees this video, what's that noise?
It's the fish that I'm cooking because I'm hungry.
Oh, you're actually cooking?
Oh,
I thought you hadn't turned it on yet.
No way.
I don't know if you guys
es
can
que
hear
tengo
that.
hambre.
No, you're good. So that was like a
Tengo
really strong
hambre.
moment. I was just like
Yeah.
it solidified. It's like I have to move on. Like this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I do not want to stay stagnant. It's not the money is not enough. Not like I didn't get enough money. I'm saying like it wasn't enough reason to just stay.
Yeah. So you feel like if she hadn't been born,
I
'cause
probably would've stayed there
The thing
longer.
about these pivotal moments is like, where would you have been had they not happened?
Probably still in the military.
Yeah.
I think it would have been easier to convince me to stay.
If you hadn't had a child.
Right, because I had made staff sergeant right before I left, so I was getting paid even more.
Yeah.
And I was gonna start to get more responsibilities and shit. Like I still had kind of like that attitude, like this is kind of stupid, like I don't really like it. But before my daughter was born, I didn't have anything that was keeping me from just saying fuck it. You know what I mean? Like once she was born, I was like, I can't say fuck it anymore because it's not my life. You know what I mean? Like when you have somebody else's life, like you're trying to mold or whatever, like that's scary. But then you realize like every single thing that you do has a consequence, not just your life, but their life. You know, like if I was just stayed over there in Nebraska, she had grown up in Nebraska, and then all of a sudden, you know, she's 12 or however the hell she's gonna be. We come back and it's like culture shock. Like, okay, there's a bunch of Mexicans. Like, here we go. Like, it would have just sucked, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get that moment where you're like, you know what? This is a moment where she decided that she was gonna be a stripper.
But
That was her
But you know
pivotal
what?
moment.
I tell her, be the best damn stripper you can.
That was her pivotal
Bam.
moment.
Bang.
Stripper.
Wham,
That's
bang.
a cool.
Thank
That's,
you, man.
that's a badass.
Thanks, brother.
So, what?
So it happened.
I'm feeling like
Look, what I'm saying next is, our pivotal moments happened early in our lives. Yours that you wanna put out there is like it happened like way later like than ours, because ours happened. Irvin's like 6, 5, 7.
yeah.
Mine happened around the same age, and yours happened till you were in your 20s.
Oh, but don't get me wrong. Because we have several pivotal moments.
Yeah, of
like
course.
Cindy was also a huge. And I always talk about her, but she was like a huge pivotal moment for me too. Like you guys know how like lost or just
Men in general.
Yeah.
Men in general, without a woman, is pretty much just fucking
Yes.
floating around like
Remember that time
100%.
We were in my Civic, and like we did like a donut.
We
while
almost
were
died.
driving.
Do we?
We almost
Yeah,
fell
you
in the
almost
fucking.
killed us.
And I didn't care.
Yeah, you didn't.
I did.
Greg was the only one that was all.
Well, because let me tell you the scenario. We were going too fast on a curb, and he slid out, and so
Didn't you
we're
pull a handbrake? Because
I
you
did something,
we were
dude.
fucking
Greg,
drifting,
But
Dude,
it's just
Irvin
weird.
pulled a handbrake because he felt like he can drift.
and the thing is that so he's going like this. We're going right next to a canal, which is probably empty.
And it's like at least a 30,
and he's heading straight to a
20
pole.
foot
It was
drop.
deep though.
He's heading straight to a pole, so it's like, I'm like, oh shit, we're either gonna fall in the canal and roll over and fucking die, or we're gonna hit this fucking pole straight on, and we might die as well.
It was like a 30-foot drop.
Yeah, we would've-
And it's because, dude, you just at that age, like you feel invincible.
Invincible,
Like you
definitely.
feel like nothing's gonna happen.
Dude, even up to maybe a couple of months, maybe a year ago, I still felt like no pasa nada, güey. Like no, like death for me, death is not like. I feel like death was not real for me. Like everybody else can die except me, but that is total bullshit. Like
not
I
applicable.
bleed, I bleed and everything.
You
like
do get burned
I get
Especially
burned.
for
I
young-
did get burned on the right side,
lots of time.
especially for young men. Like,
dude, and I'm still alive. I feel like this is just preparing me for hell.
dude, for a young man,
Be a spawn.
like when young men make stupid decisions,
my
like,
favorite character.
A little part of me kind of feels for them because I'm like, I was
Yeah.
kind of there once too, where you just don't realize what you're doing, what
But
the
you need to
repercussions
do that
are.
though. I was actually I kind of want to. I don't want to say we have to end it now, but I wanted to talk to you guys about this because it was one of those like I call them I call them stoner ideas.
Yeah.
But let's just call them Greg ideas because you guys know I'm random as fuck. I was thinking about time travel,
Oh, I love
right?
that subject.
And I was like, yeah, wouldn't it be cool? Because everybody always talks about like, wouldn't it be cool to go back in time and like be young again or whatever? Because like I was looking at my little ones and like my younger brother, and I'm just like yeah, like they don't really know, you know what I'm saying? Like they think they know, but they don't know like what the fuck being an adult is, right? And I was like, yeah, man, I wish I could go back in time and think and just like everything would be simple. But then I was like, I got this fucking moment, and I was like, oh shit, it wouldn't work. And I was telling to Melissa about this, and I was like, it wouldn't work. He's like, you listen, this is why it wouldn't work, okay? Listen to me. If you could go back in time to relive the past, yeah? First of all, you would have to go to the past with absolutely no memory of the future. It's the only way it's gonna work, because if you don't do that, you're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna be thinking about what's coming next, and you're gonna find a way to fuck it up every time. You're not gonna appreciate it because you're gonna know that down the line this shit's gonna happen, that shit's gonna happen. Of course, yes, you can you could sit there and deviate, right, and like make it better. But now you're fucking. That's a different future.
But this
now
is
that's even more unpredictable.
This is going back to the future.
Well, I'm not done yet.
Espérate, puto. With without the knowledge of what happened
Yes.
already.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You would have to go back, right?
With the knowledge
With
of
that-
knowing what's gonna happen already.
No, I'm saying it wouldn't work.
If you go
have
back,
you have to go back and like everything's gone.
if you wanna go through that phase of not giving a fuck.
Exactly,
about-
exactly.
You have
but
to
then
not-
what ends up happening? If time is relative, you're gonna end up
in the same spot.
living the same life, and you're gonna go back to that exact moment, and you're gonna say, "Shit, I wish I was young again." So I'm like, it doesn't fucking work.
Because if you didn't know anything
Yeah,
that
you're
happened,
right.
then you didn't have any experiences.
Exactly.
And experiences are what make
So what
you
am I
learn.
saying? The only way to truly appreciate the past is during the present. That's it.
So definitely,
beautiful.
the only way I would go back is to relive things twice.
But you wouldn't know that you were doing that.
Pinche Drake over here.
Six God.
To relive things twice.
That's the only way. That's the only reason why I would go back in time to relive things twice. Nothing in my life that I've gone through has been shitty. No
Yeah.
matter what it is. I've seen my mom get run over by a car,
Oh my god.
I remember
and
you told us that.
I would go back and relive it just to appreciate my mom more now.
Oh, I thought
Like-
you meant like
And
I thought you
double
meant
tapper.
appreciate my mom getting hit by the car
Nah.
more and like
Right,
observe.
double tapper like ya muerte la verga.
You know what though? But what if you already experienced it? So you already have that feeling of what it would be like,
Experience it again.
but it wouldn't be the same
Like
experience.
experience the first high again,
But it wouldn't be the same.
but feeling it as the first high, like not going back and like with the same tolerance as I have right now, and then go back and it's like, oh, it's not the same. No, it would feel the same. Still with the knowledge
right.
of back then.
You think so?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't think you can experience
Yeah, I
something.
don't think you can, man.
Or go back to the first time I had sex.
Okay, think about
and
it.
actually do it right.
That's why people overdose on drugs.
Think about this though.
Or go back to the
So,
first 10 times I had sex.
You want to experience the first time you had sex, right?
Go back to the first 10 times because they all sucked.
But hold on, hold on. So then, but in your mind, you already know what that first experience of having
Expectation.
sex was. So therefore, it's not really the first time. It's already like the second time because you already
But
have that.
I mean,
knowledge of
you're
the
gonna
first
go
time.
with that knowledge, definitely. But like the senses, like your body hadn't felt that.
But in
and
your
then
mind,
you
you already
go back.
experienced it, so you know what it felt like.
So
I don't
That's
think our-
tough.
And not to mention our memories aren't that great. Have you ever
so
like
exactly.
remembered something wrong?
So go back to that moment where you fucked this girl
Like the only
and
way
like
it would
relive
work
it.
he just wants to be young so he
is
can fuck.
if you
girls.
go back, but you just don't remember that it already
And then
happened.
go back and fuck other girls that you couldn't fuck.
What if we're living this life over and over again?
Yeah.
It's a loop. It is a fucking loop.
What if you've been Oscar?
The 70s and the 80s are coming back. Like, it's a fucking loop. There's been other Oscars and other timelines, like,
Yeah.
that thought the same, that spoke the same, like, shit like that.
But
Definitely.
But they were not
Landed
named
on-
Oscar.
But they were
named-
me, like,
They were sitting and going there. You fucking NASA dick writer.
They were named Ahmed
you are a fucking, Greg is a every Russian fucking UFC fighter dick
Oscar
rider.
called me a NASA dick writer.
If you had like
Fucking fucker.
a Middle Eastern name, what would be your name? I think that would be Ahmed Nurmagomedov.
Again with the Nurmagomedov.
What
That's
would
not
yours-
Middle
that's
Eastern.
Ru-
I think he's Russian.
yeah,
Belgian.
that's like Eastern or Asian.
Muhammad? What the fuck would it be between that and Muhammad?
It's the most fucking common
What
name.
would be
Read a
your
fucking book
what
for
would be,
once.
What would be your name?
Mine would be something Khalifa.
Khalifa? Mia?
Nah. Hey, how big are that girl's tits?
They are large.
Are
I don't
they
like
34Ds? 30? How big are they?
She doesn't really
Google
interest
it.
me.
You're on your phone.
Okay.
She doesn't really interest me for some reason.
It's not that she doesn't interest me, but the hype around it, like, oh, Google that chick. That was about it.
She just doesn't really do it for me.
She doesn't do it for you
You know who is pretty hot? I
again.
don't even know her name.
You gonna go back to her again?
Oh, sorry, I was
I
looking
forgot
up.
the name. What are you doing?
You know it's bad when you know porn stars by name.
You said you wanted me to look up her.
I
breast
know
size.
porn stars by name.
I think she's like in the D's for sure.
Yeah, boob size.
Oh, something Katie Cush or something like that.
Kate Kush, I've never heard of her.
You should look her up. She's good. She's nice. She has a great personality.
She looks like you could have a nice conversation.
She looks like she could take a dick.
Strong Catholic upbringing.
Oh, really?
With
It's only 34B.
bullshit. Unless she's like 4'5".
But then it says breast, waist, hips, and it says 40, 26, 36.
Oh, actually, before we finish off, can we go back to the topic you had brought up in the very beginning when I couldn't really talk because I was fucking dying? I was talking about depression and success.
Okay.
I really liked what you were saying there. Can you see our little lamp in the back?
I got really depressed. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got really depressed after I ate those wings.
That's new, by the way. Greg got it. Oh yeah. So can you just reiterate what you were talking about in the beginning because I couldn't really pay attention.
Just going through getting into a depressive state. We've talked about this before, because you feel stuck, you feel stagnant, and you feel like you're not really fuck. You're not successful. Like you're not succeeding. Like
You're not progressing. Like moving forward.
Yeah. Moving forward. Cause I went through that maybe like for a week or 2 weeks where I was kind of depressed because I was like, fuck, like I need to do this, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but like in your mind, like what is the next step?
In my mind, the next step is to fucking go back to school.
Okay.
The next step is to. I was trying to fight that so hard.
Yeah.
To go back to school, I
Yeah.
was trying to make it seem like, no, the next step is to go make contacts and so that I can take the next step of going back to the home building business.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it and I'm like, well, yeah, but I have zero knowledge of mathematics and a lot of that requires a lot of mathematics and knowing how to handle money.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
not in the real world experience, but as far as how to subtract big numbers and and percentages.
Like you're talking about like real estate, like going into real estate, like selling houses.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Not
okay.
me selling houses, building houses.
Building houses.
Building houses, building from there, like
Yeah.
from the position where my dad was at, which was painting homes, and then from there, like evolving to the next step and the next step.
So you don't want to be like a builder. Like there's
A
lot
home
of-
builder,
yeah, like
definitely,
people who-
100%.
That's what me and Cindy want to go to, like a custom home builder.
Oh my God, Austin Homes, that's the name of my company.
Oh,
I already have it. Why? Because Austin has really fucking beautiful
Homes?
houses. They did a different kind of thing with houses. You know who also has good pretty houses? Santa Teresa.
Oh, yeah?
If you go out there, like down by the Red Road, you go down Red Road all the way down. There's a community there, and they actually have their own country club.
Oh, I did a run by there one time.
I'm
lot of
telling
trees.
you,
They call that the Upper Valley.
the architecture of the houses
Upper
there
Valley?
they're beautiful. Like not even the houses
I know
up
what you're
in
talking about.
up in the tippy top. Because I've been to the houses up in the tippy top
the
where
mountain?
the mountain. I've been there because we did loans through Pioneer Bank with people that live there, and yeah, they're impressive, but the architecture behind some of the houses, like down in Santa Teresa or in Austin, like it's beautiful. So definitely to emulate that
Yeah.
here in El Paso and make it affordable for people.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal.
So then, you're thinking then, because you're not gonna be the one building the houses.
Definitely,
You're
no.
gonna have staff for that.
Okay.
So you're talking about like architecture then.
Am I gonna like spill out the whole plan here?
Yeah, I wouldn't. What if somebody steals his business plan?
Okay, so the business plan is to get into painting, painting houses. From there, get into the sheetrock business. And then, from the sheetrock business, I probably won't get into framing. Fuck framing. I'm not going to do that. And then from framing, lot cleaning. Because they like lot cleaning, like getting your own bulldozers, your own your cats or your dump trucks. If you acquire that, that's a big asset. And then from there, I wouldn't have to outsource that work to contractors. Like they're my own company. The cleaning, the sheetrock and the painting. So all that money
in-house.
It's all in house. You know where I got this from? Winton Homes.
Yeah.
The house that Jack built. The owner from Winton Homes, Flair. These are custom homes. He wrote a book as to how he made it. and that's where I got this from because he started with a meat packing distribution, and then from there he went on into electrician.
Yeah.
And then he had his own electrician company, and then
Yeah.
painting, and then he has his own painting company. So he wouldn't outsource none of that work. He had it in house, like
Yeah.
it was his own shit.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm trying to think like, well,
And
what
then
kinda-
HVAC, Greg's going to HVAC. Like Greg
Yeah.
can make his own company, and then I just hired Greg.
I'm thinking
I
like,
thought about making my own like videography services because like
Oh my God, yes.
Like,
like
for
people have
weddings
a
and
lot of
shit?
quinceañeras and shit like that.
yeah.
No, wait, no.
So if you guys ever wanna, if you guys get a wedding, and
You know what I want to
Get a
do?
wedding.
I do wanna make like a pump up video, like a fucking working out video.
for you, bro.
Post it
Like I
too.
love that shit. I love producing more than I do.
Yeah,
videos.
and I'll pay you for it.
I
Like
was thinking about also
100%.
recording that turkey run and then posting it. Are you gonna do it? If you guys do it, it'd be cool.
I'll be
I
down,
don't
but
know
I
if
have
I
to start
can.
training for it.
Yeah,
I'll-
it's on Thanksgiving.
Does anybody
though.
have a GoPro?
I don't give a fuck about
I
Thanksgiving.
wanna eat.
It's like at 7 in the morning.
Is it on a Thursday or Friday?
Thursday?
Thursday?
I believe so.
Oh, but I work Thursday. I work. Oh no, I don't. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
Does
I'm
anybody-
fucking down. I just gotta train,
Does
dude.
anybody have a GoPro?
Have you ever even trained?
What happened to yours?
Yeah, we just they stole it in Seattle.
What the fuck?
When they stole
That's
Cindy's
bullshit.
purse, it was in her purse with $300.
Dude,
Our passports, the GoPro.
fuck that, dude.
Those homeless dudes go crazy, dude. Like they're doing a social project over there
Simon.
where they're like, let's help the homeless, let's solve homelessness. So they allowed all these homeless to go there. They don't like prosecute them. They don't follow them any. Which I mean, it sounds cool in theory. And they give them
Yeah.
out needles so that anybody who's doing heroin, they're like, well, let's not increase the chances that people are going to be passing on diseases.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, they give them needles because people use old needles, right? And through old needles, you spread HIV and you
Yeah,
spread.
I
all
understand.
So they're like, let's give them clean.
What happens with the?
Yeah, so they're like, so let's give them clean needles to, like, in theory.
Oh my God.
This is when progressive people go like,
Yeah,
well, it doesn't
I
work
get- I
out.
get what you're
You know what I
saying.
mean? So they're like, in theory, they're like, so that people don't get HIV, so that all these
Just give-
blood-borne diseases. But now the community's done. They've had it because the homeless population there is through the roof, and all these like petty crimes and car theft, or not car, but when they break into cars, people being assaulted, like little kids. You know that sucks. You can't be safe with your little
Fuck
kids.
me,
Being
man.
sent anyone to a park, there's all these needles on the floor. You don't even want to take your kids to the park because there's needles, and you're like, what the fuck? That those needles have HIV. My little kid's gonna get HIV at fucking 3 years old. That's fucked up. So then they're realizing now that it's like, hey, we're trying to solve homelessness, but by trying to be nice to do this, like our city's going to shit.
Enabling.
Yeah, so now the whole city is like pissed off, and the police department. When I applied over to the police department, everybody's pissed because they're like, dude, we're handcuffed. We can't do anything to these homeless people, even though they do some fucked up shit. It's like we can't do anything to them because they're trying to be nice or whatever, and it's fucked up.
Maybe they should just be nice and get them some heroin, and it's got like some bad shit in it.
Oh my god.
Give them some bad
And then
heroin.
Trump is has this idea of like, well, let's get the homeless
do that, I'm just
population.
joking.
He's like, let's get the homeless populations and put them all in like a restricted area far away from. And there's like, doesn't that remind you of something? Like, doesn't that sound
A
like something-
reservation.
Like, doesn't that sound like something that's happened?
District 9?
That's like some fucking genocide shit.
Yeah, doesn't that sound like something? And then like you just hear years later, like, oh, a gas leak erupted in the homeless area by accident, killing 50,000 people.
In bum, what do we call it? Like
Bumbleclap.
Bumville,
Bomboclat.
Bumville tuna.
Wait, so what were we talking about?
No, dude, I was gonna tell you right now because we were talking about businesses.
Oh, yeah.
I actually right before I left Nebraska, like we were doing our processing, and I was talking to one of my fellow. He knows who he is. I don't know if he probably doesn't even know I exist anymore. But he was cool, and I had been on a deployment with him and everything. And he was telling me about how he was gonna start a business
Okay.
doing home inspections.
Oh.
He already had the name. He had like already some clients lined
That's
up
big.
and everything. And I was like, okay, cool. And like we were just talking about it
Yeah.
like that. Y luego, yeah, like some time passed. You know, we had already finished our processing. Y luego, yeah, that's when I had made the decision like I'm gonna get out of here or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like he came up to me out of nowhere. I forgot. He was
When?
just like. No, like before I had left,
Oh.
like several weeks had passed, and he just
Yeah.
came and he's like, hey brother, what are you doing like a couple of days from now or a couple of months from now, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, like we're getting ready to leave. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, we're leaving back to Texas, and he went like, oh, you're kidding me, and I'm like, he's like, what? And he's like, dude, I was about to see if you wanted to be on board
With the business.
with the business. So he was gonna offer me a job at his brand new home inspection business. and like it's just crazy. Like some of those
Home
opportunities.
inspections pay a lot.
And
dude,
he,
per
I just
house.
looked up. I just looked up his name, and like it's an actual like
Nice.
he's got a building and everything. I'm
So-
like, damn, dude, you know, never
Yeah.
know, dude, when opportunities come.
I was able to turn it around because I went back to where I started, which was watching motivational videos.
Okay.
Okay.
Those help, dude.
Listening to motivational stuff. And Zig Ziglar says that motivation is like showering. You got to do it every day.
Yeah.
So I listened to some David Goggins, and he this is what he said. He's all like, I'm not athletic. Like, I am not fucking athletic. All I am is I was real with myself, and I told myself the truth, which was I'm a fat piece of shit. Like, I'm a slob. Like, I don't like to run. I don't do this, but I do it anyways, and
Yeah.
I just fucking get it on. So I told myself, like, yeah, I'm not smart. Like, I'm not a smart person. I am not. But what I am is a fucking hard ass worker. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only thing that pulls me ahead.
Yeah.
That I go the extra mile, and I fucking and I don't mind fucking working a little bit harder. So that's what helps me out. So I was able to realize that it's gonna take some time
Yeah.
to if I want to go the school route.
Yeah.
But definitely it'll help me out, and all I have to do is work really hard. You know,
Yeah.
study that extra hour.
Yeah.
Stay in the class that extra 30 to an hour. Like,
Yeah.
I just have to do everything a little harder.
Yeah.
Because definitely I'm not a smart person. I've never been really book savvy, but I've always had an open mind, and I've always been a little bit open to doing a little extra because I
Watch.
knew that's what would work.
Let me tell you something. I think we're like Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
We each have an ability. Like, someone has a water power.
Double down on
Other
your strengths.
people have like fucking fire, earth, or whatever. And for some people, they just read a book and they
Clicks.
digest it quick.
Right.
But they might not, and they might also have hard work. Like, some people, some Pokemon have fire power, and maybe they also have water power. You never know. So some people can fucking do multiple
not
shit.
true.
Yeah.
And those people are like gifted, but you use your talent or whatever you have at your best. So, for example, with you, with your hard work, if you know that's what you got, then you fucking use it.
Double
You know what I
down,
mean?
yeah.
Double down.
That's
do
what I
your
said
shit.
last time. I didn't even take my own advice. Double down on your strengths. Like,
Because maybe you take it for granted, like, oh, I'm not smart, but I'm a hard worker. Maybe someone else isn't a hard worker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one more thing that you have
Yeah,
than
so that's
somebody
something you have that they don't have, which you
Definitely.
can. And the thing is this: like, some skills are more transferable to school, others are to the work environment. Like me, having gone through school, I saw several people who like. I was like, you're not very good at school, but I know when you get out in the work field or in the work
You're gonna be
environment,
good.
you're gonna
Competency.
flourish because you're a hard ass worker. It just takes you a little while to get it, but once you get it, you're fucking killing it. And I was kind of one of those like. You also have to be very interested in the subject, dude. Like, you have to like what you're doing. You have to visualize yourself doing it.
definitely.
And
a
you
lot of
have to have that
factors.
motivation to, like, every day be like, you know what, I'm going to learn about this because I know it's going to help or because I have to do it. You know, so I would say don't go into it, you know, like scared or whatever. Just go into it knowing your strengths and take advantage of your
Yeah,
strengths.
definitely.
Did you check out that video I sent you? About the stoicism.
Oh, you're talking about
You
it
didn't
all
say
the
it.
time.
You
What is
didn't say it. I
stoicism?
sent it to you,
Break
bro.
it
You didn't
down,
send
Greg.
it to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was it about again?
About stoicism, like the philosophy of stoicism.
Yeah, no, I didn't get
You
it.
didn't get it?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll resend it to you.
You probably
It's-
send it
it's
to my
really-
work phone.
Break it
Send it to my regular phone.
No, I sent it to you.
Break it down, Greg.
Break it down. Break it down.
Breaking it down.
So what is stoicism?
Stoicism. I don't want to fucking. You could talk about this forever, but
Just give us a brief rundown.
I'm gonna give you a brief, the way I understand it.
Yes, please.
So it is, and I'll send it to both of you guys. It is a philosophy
Okay.
that speaks mostly not so much about. That's why I always Oscar, because Oscar was saying that you seem like you're kind of negative all the time, but the thing is that it's more like
No, he's not.
no. After you left, he was saying like you gotta be like not so pessimistic. I'm like, well, it's because the thing is that I'm more realistic because I believe in like the philosophy of stoicism.
Oh, you're talking about yourself.
Yeah,
Oh,
believe in
okay.
the philosophy of stoicism, which is all about changing your perception about what is happening.
Okay.
Like you basically kind of stick to the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to work, right, and like maybe you had a fight with your wife or something, so you're already in a bad mood, and then you get you're halfway down the road and then you have a flat tire and now you're late and you had a presentation that day, right? In those types of moments, most people would say like fuck, like everything's fucked, like this is a
Right.
fucked up day.
Your
Everything's gonna get
perspective.
fucked up, but that's a perception. That's not a fact. What
Right.
is a fact? The fact is that every couple fights. You know,
Right.
you're not always gonna have a perfect day with your wife. That tire, maybe you could have checked it and you probably didn't check it. But, you know, shit like that happens. You never understand what's happening in the road. The presentation, well, you know what? What the fuck are they going to do? You were on your way to work and nothing happened. The fact of the matter is that when you break all those shits down, the only thing that's left that you could potentially control is the perception of your reality at that point in time. So you could sit there and have this perception of like, my life sucks,
Yeah.
everything's fucked, I'm just going to have a shitty day today.
Yeah.
Or you can just, like Oscar does, just fucking look at the upside and say, you know
Yeah.
what? No, it's not fucked. I still have time.
It's like shit just happens.
Exactly, but I sent you guys that video, and it's like been around since like fucking
Yeah.
the Roman days.
Like, you know how some people are like, oh, you're lucky or you're unlucky. I think
Yeah.
shit just happens and you
It's
choose
random,
what you
dude.
focus on. Because you know one thing that I've noticed about people? Like when bad shit happens, they realize it right away. Like,
Of
oh,
course,
yeah.
of course.
And then when something good happens,
Right.
they're like, oh, well, finally. And they're like, oh, this never happens. And it's just like, it becomes like oh,
It's
this
just
rarely happens. Like, and rather than doing that, just focus on the good things that are happening. Like,
Yeah.
you're just focusing on the bad shit that's happening to you and becoming kind of like a victim.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, okay, bad shit happened, fuck it.
we get
Another
so
bad shit
easily
happened. It's like,
distracted,
okay,
dude.
good shit happened. That's just life. It's just
We
you
get
just-
so easily distracted, and like especially now, everybody's like, you know, there's like this always need for like instant gratification.
Yeah.
I think a perfect metaphor for that, or a perfect example, is like think about the last time that you were sick.
today.
Like you're sick, right? But think about when you're really sick, like when you like just have the flu and you just feel like ass, right? And what's the first thing you do? You go, fuck, like I'm always sick, or you say some shit like that, right? But the thing that matters, is that, like, do you really ever think about when you're not sick? Do you ever think like,
Exactly.
hey, I'm not sick, like
Yeah.
this is great? No, nobody does that shit. It's only when you're sick, you're like, oh, I don't even remember the last time that I wasn't sick.
Like that's
Isn't
just
that
the
fucking crazy?
That's the mentality you're in, and
Yeah,
you have
because
to train
when you're
yourself.
healthy, you don't even think about that shit.
Yeah, and you have to train yourself to look at the good things in your life to maintain
Yeah.
positive. Because I'll tell you one thing. A positive energy is contagious, and people want to be around positive energy.
Yeah.
And positive energy, it brings good things to you because people feel it. People can feel energies, and they'll like gravitate towards you, and they'll offer you jobs, and they'll offer you things, and they'll try and help you because nobody wants to be around that guy who's always like, dude, my life sucks. Like because it's like, fuck, man, get your negative energy away from me. You're affecting me. But everybody wants to be around the guy who's happy, who's excited,
Right.
who like, you know
What's
what?
that? Oh, the butter.
Who's like, you know what? I just broke up with my fucking partner.
Nice big cup.
Who's like, you know what? I just broke up with my partner, but
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I'm positive, dude. I'm gonna find someone who like loves me, and you know, even though they're going through a shitty situation, you're like, I want to be around you because I feel like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, everyone's kind of out for themselves.
Yeah.
So, no one's gonna be out with someone who's bringing them negative energy. You want to be around people who are like, you know what? By hanging out with this person, I'm kind of also benefiting,
Right.
and everybody benefits from each
I
other.
mean, you have to. I mean, we're not robots. I think it's important because if it's important to let the feeling happen.
Yeah.
But just not let it like control you. Because when you're pissed or when you're sad, you know, like I get bummed out all the
Yeah,
time.
of course.
You know, and I acknowledge it. I was like, okay, I'm going through something.
Yeah.
But when something good does happen, I do this all the time. Like I'll make like scenarios in my head, like this is gonna go bad, this is gonna go bad, and then nothing happens. Like
Yeah.
nothing, not even close to what
Yeah.
I fucking imagine, and I kind of get this like weight off of me, and I take just a second. I just go, okay, that was good. Like I give myself that moment to say like I'm feeling good about it, that it wasn't shitty, you know.
Like you're looking at the positive moments now.
You have to give yourself at least a good
Yeah.
10 seconds just to say like, all right, it could have been bad and it wasn't. Good. And like smile. You don't have to smile or anything, but you just kind of like let yourself
and
be
you know
that
what?
moment.
Extremely
Put
grateful.
yourself in that moment that you're
Like,
fucking grateful, dude.
One thing I also noticed, like through shitty moments, is like, yeah, it's a shitty moment, but you know what? Feeling shitty about it and being down on myself is really doing nothing.
Not
for
gonna
me
make it
anyways.
better.
It's not gonna make
Exactly.
any. It just makes things worse.
And that's what.
So if anything,
that's what that is, man.
let me just
being realistic
yeah,
about
just
it.
be
That's
positive
it.
about it.
And realistic, whatever. I don't know
Like
if you
I
guys
had,
want to
like
end
I
it.
had
Maybe
my,
not positive, bro. Okay, yeah, positive. But always being really grateful. I make it a point every day just to tell myself how grateful I am. or I say it really low and I say it to myself, but I do say, I mean, I don't want to impose or tell anybody that this is what they should do or whatever, but I do it for every meal that I eat. I'm like, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for this food. I believe that.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that, and I'm like, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for this food. Or when I'm arriving to a job site and there's gas blowing, like, there's always a possibility that it can ignite.
Yeah.
Something can happen while we're there. So when I get there, I make it a point to say, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for this opportunity. You brought me here safe. Please let me leave safe. Like, but I do say thank you for the opportunity, like that I'm still alive. Like, thank you for the job. Like, thank you for the truck. Like, yeah, it's not a new truck, but it gets me everywhere, and it rides the way I like it to ride. Like, it does everything that I wanted to do. So, like, I'm extremely grateful. Like,
That's that's a really good energy you're giving off, and it'll bring good stuff to you, because like I'm telling you, not because it's like this tangible thing where it's like, oh, I feel your energy. Let me. It's because you give up.
you can perceive it.
Because people want to be with people who are giving off good vibes.
It changes your attitude and it changes the direction that you take and things. You know, like
Yeah.
if you're usually a pretty pissed off person, then you're probably a little bit impulsive, a little rash.
Yeah.
To dismiss something. It's just basic. Whether you want to look at it spiritually, you want to look at it fucking just logically. If you're fucking mad or you're fucking sad all the time, you're not gonna make the same decisions that you would if you were happy and positive. It's just
clear-headed.
It's just fucking logic.
Like I had my interview on Tuesday already.
I know.
Oh, dude,
Wednesday.
And no, Tuesday.
Oh, you
Tuesday.
said you said you're
Wednesday
waiting,
last
right?
time.
You said you're waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Apparently, my friend told me I should call back on Tuesday because you should wait a week. But I think I'm gonna wait till Friday to call back and see what's up. But I think the interview, because it was an assessment and then an interview. I feel like I killed the interview. I think I did really well. I was confident. It was like a panel of 5 people, but I'm already comfortable speaking because I had done the police interviews. So like I'm already kind of.
He
used
didn't
to
ask you what would you do if some lady's getting beat to
yeah.
death with a
See,
pipe.
like when you go through a question like that, it's very easy to then go
told me
into
about
like
that
a
shit.
regular interview. Like, oh, tell me about yourself.
You
It's like,
told me
oh,
about
that's it.
that shit.
Yeah, just to let listeners know, like one of the.
It was on my podcast.
Oh yeah. I had an interview for Seattle Police Department, and the police. One of the questions was, and during the panel, they make you ask. They make you draw shit on the board. They're like, okay, it's a scenario. You're at a Circle K. There's a gunman. What do you do? Like all these situations, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like these little interview questions that I'm getting asked now,
Yeah.
it's like easy. So
I
then
don't have
this
to
guy,
shoot anybody.
yeah, so wait, so I don't have a gun? So the interview question in Seattle was like, okay, so you're walking down the street. Some lady flags you down. She's like, hey, hurry up. There's a guy beating up this girl over here. So you rush over to the scene. You look into the thing. And this guy has a lead pipe. And he's just about to whack this lady on the floor. And it's like, what do you do? So then to the police people, I was like, okay, well, I'll draw my weapon. And I'll scream to the man, like, stop what you're doing, like right away before I take a shot. Yeah. And then I was like, and if I notice that he's about to hit it, then I take a shot. If I, like, I guess leave it up to, because, you know, you also, I was kind of in mind, like, thinking in mind, like, you know, I don't want to be like gun-ho and like, let's shoot everybody. Because there's so much, during that time even, because right now I feel like it is, you don't hear about it too much. I mean, it's probably still out in the news, but the police stuff is kind of like dropping a little bit, I want to say. But right there when I had that interview, it was like at an all-time high. So it was like, you know, I don't want to be like that guy who's, oh, this guy just wants to shoot everybody.
Well, you were thinking of it like in a perfect world, like if you have the exact amount of time, like everything.
To be able to rationalize and be like, he's about to hit her again, pa.
Right.
And then after the interview, they were giving me feedback. And the guy's like, you know what, you did very well. Like, I really liked your answers. He's like, but in this one question, he's like, if that was your mother being hit with that lead pipe, he's like, it only takes one hit for a person to kill. He's like, if that was my mother, I would want you to take that shot immediately. He's like, picture this. He's like, there's the man. He's hitting her. He's like, starts slamming the chair, like looking at me in that. He's like, he's hitting her with the lead pipe. He's like, what are you gonna do? What are you? And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'll take the shot. And he's like, exactly. He's like, I don't want to put an officer out there on the streets who is not willing to take that shot for my own mother. I was like, oh my god, fuck. Okay, yes.
Well, it's because.
But the whole time I maintained.
I'll tell you what, man.
Yes, of course.
There's a high rate of officer suicide because of the drawback that these people have on split-second decisions.
Stressful job.
Yeah. Think about this. Anybody that has some kind of negative connotation of police officers, split-second decisions that you have to make on whether to take a life or
save your own
or save another person's life,
Yeah.
but you have to take this life. Like it's impossible, man, to say that this is what you're gonna do when you haven't gone through it.
There's a really cool thing you guys should check out. It's on YouTube. I love YouTube. You can
YouTube
find anything
donut
there.
operator.
And it's like it was a reporter who went through the
Yes.
it wasn't an obstacle, it was like scenarios, but it was like real life. They gave him like one of those fake guns.
And every time he shot the perpetrator,
he died like every time. No, he died a couple times because like there was one where the guy was like in a hoodie and he was just like this, and the guy he approached him. He's like, "Hey, can you get your hands out of your pocket?" And he just started walking towards him slowly, and then the guy's like, stop," and he didn't even have his hand anywhere near his weapon, and then all of a sudden the perp just like pops up, takes a gun and starts shooting. Like, obviously there are blanks in it, but it's just the sound, and the guy was like, he's like, "You're dead."
Yeah, there's this one where this guy is like advocating for police officers using non-lethal or shooting less, and they put him through scenarios, and every time he would shoot the perpetrator, and then the guys are like, "You see what we're like?"
Yeah, you don't know. Mm-hmm. You have to make that choice. Yeah, that's why those guys have like PTSD and shit. Man. It's fucking
so
crazy.
police officers, man, EMTs,
My respect.
EMTs, man, hospital, like people that work at the
anyone
hospital.
who has
Holy
people's
shit,
lives in their
respect,
hands.
definitely, man. It's good
I couldn't
God.
do that shit, man.
I think-
it gives me anxiety just thinking about
What
it.
do you guys think about that? But not like RoboCop, but like that becoming a job for robots, where you kind of
Like
you
what's that movie called? iRobot.
I don't remember. but
Because when he's all like, "Save her, don't save me,"
You are in danger.
like they
Calculated.
They calculate, how
she would.
the probability
that he
of
would live.
living and dying.
yeah, but you basically remove that lethal threat of the cop being killed because it's a robot, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that kind of like lowers the situation. Even if the perp shoots at the robot, like the robot can still take less. Like the robot's gonna be shooting
Yeah.
people like crazy 'cause it's like,
Anything-
I'm not gonna die. If
Yeah.
I don't shoot him, I can just control him and stop him.
I feel like
or her.
anything that
That'd be
requires
controversial, man.
a situation of taking a life or saving a life, like there's always going to be controversy.
Yeah.
Greg said it will be controversial because there will always be people like, well, these fucking robots, they're probably programming them to kill Mexicans,
But
to
no,
kill
no,
black
this is the
people.
thing.
Unless the robots were building themselves.
This is how you solve this.
You know,
these
like,
robots
can't take the human out of
These
anything.
robots require no weapons. If you think about it,
Right.
Because why does a cop have a weapon to protect
But
themselves?
let's say it was that scenario with the lead pipe. Like, what is the robot just gonna?
Yeah, no, it's like a super robot.
Fucking Nomad Dash. Fucking what's that guy from Mortal Kombat? Cabal. Just like boom. Like
Yeah, it'll be fuck yeah, dude. In the future, these robots are gonna haul ass,
Look-
and they'll just like
look.
go off
We
fast.
can't even figure out. Let's figure out first if we should have self-driving cars in the road first before.
Well,
we
let me
fucking
tell you
give
what.
people fucking weapons.
And then, like in that movie, iRobot, that the central computer gets infiltrated and it gets its own mind, and like Sky.
Oh no, sorry, that's Terminator. My bad. I'm sorry.
But regardless, it's the same scenario where,
Yeah.
what if it gets its own consciousness and it's
Self-aware.
it's self-aware and it starts programming all these other robots to like do, like crazy shit because
they're
if
like-
that computer feels like this is the right thing to do. So it's a thin line, man.
That's the
like,
fear.
They did an experiment called it was an AI they made. Like it had like its own Twitter account.
Yeah,
and
I
shit.
remember.
And then like it started fucking saying all these Nazi shit like in the second day.
oh shit.
It was crazy. Like it just
I think
it's
it
not the machine can't handle the
It
things.
created
that we
its
do.
own language. I think they were saying.
Yeah, it was some weird shit like that. But have you guys seen the movie Surrogates? I feel like that would be probably, I would say, the least worst scenario, which
No,
is like surrogates. Like everybody's living through like an android, essentially. Like you're safe in your house,
Okay.
and you put on these little things, and you just have like an android that looks like you, and you can walk around, do your shit.
It's like
kind of
The
the
Matrix?
Sims.
player one or Player Ready
Ready
one.
Player
Oh,
One.
yeah.
Yes, but literally,
That's a good movie,
everyone's
man.
walking
I
around,
liked it.
And now there's no crime because I mean, you fucking. I mean, what do
If
you
you
gonna
shoot
do?
somebody out there, like
It's a
they're not gonna
it's a
die.
robot. You don't kill anyone. Now somebody could come in your house and break your shit. I
You're over
guess,
here just in a deep sleep,
as you're fucking doing that.
and then fucking
Skirt. Well, that was what the movie's about because Bruce Willis was like a homicide detective.
fucking
and like,
Bruce Willis, he's a beast.
you should watch it, dude. It's a great
crazy
movie.
When you start
Breaking
thinking about,
Benjamin's is the band for that.
Dang.
when you start thinking about the future,
What about the future?
like what's
Oh.
in store?
Don't worry about it, man.
You know what?
It's irrelevant right now.
It is.
It's irrelevant.
It is. But
I'm
it's just-
excited for all of it. I'm excited for all of it.
We'll figure it out.
We are the generation that got to see the internet evolve into what it is now.
The
Like we
beginning.
are the generation that
Yeah.
saw the cell phone,
I wanted to see the moon landing though.
like in Dumb and Dumber. No way, we made it. But it never really happened.
Or fucking
You
Austin
fucking
Powers
NASA
when he's
dick
like,
rider.
he's like catching up. He's like, I can't believe Liberace was gay. Women loved him.
I get after that little argument or discussion we had last time about the taxes, about taxing the rich. Remember?
Oh shit, yeah, that got heated, dude.
I just did a little
I
bit.
didn't get
You
heated.
No, no,
yelled
no.
at us a lot in that.
I didn't
Oscar
yell at
always
you.
yells.
Yeah,
no, but
this is
he
the
was
way I
like,
talk.
I feel like that was like one of the times that we were actually like going. I was laughing just because you were
No,
like,
watch.
yelling at
I
him.
just did a little bit more like research.
Okay.
And you know how Oscar was mentioning about how the rich don't pay because they have loopholes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the loopholes are like donating to charities. Actually.
And some other charities are their own charities.
Yeah, exactly. So that's crazy, huh? Like they donate to charities and that gives them like
Offshore
tax
accounts.
cuts. So that's one thing. And then another thing too is like he was saying by owning what are called capital. Capital income, I believe, is because which is regular from earned income, which is what we make because we work for it, so we earn it. These people are making capital income, which comes from like stocks and real estate and shit. All that type of income is taxed lower than earned income, than people who work. And how did they get those lower taxes? Because they have the money to pay the people who are in government to be like, look, I'll fund your
Campaign.
your
Like
campaign.
lobbyists, yeah.
Because apparently advertisements, because the most of the people that vote are older people and
Yeah.
they still watch TV.
Yeah.
So you got to pay for these advertisements.
Yeah.
So these rich people are like, I'll pay for your campaign so you
Yeah.
can get the vote if you do this, if you lower capital taxes or whatever.
Yeah.
But isn't that quid pro quo?
Well, that's why Bernie Sanders
It
was
is, but
even
they do
the
it in a
running.
way where that's what I'm saying, the loopholes. And then like, so in the end, the rich people end up paying less taxes because they have the power of the money to be able to control
Yeah.
the people making the laws.
But-
And I remember Oscar saying like, well, why don't we like smart up and like start paying less taxes? And it's because really what runs the world is money.
Yeah, 100%.
And we just don't have that power.
It's the root of
You know
all
what I mean?
evil.
If we try to do some shit like that and not pay taxes, like we're about to
Yeah.
get fucking thrown in prison. And
The
I
IRS
thought about
doesn't
like,
give a fuck,
But
dude.
a lot of people that do have a lot of money and don't pay taxes, they get fucked over.
Yeah, they do.
Too. So what I'm saying is, but it's like putting a blanket over all rich people. That
Yeah.
all rich people
There's
do
shitty
that.
people in every.
There's
walks of life, dude.
there's certain exceptions.
yeah,
so
of course.
It's kind of crazy. Like
It's
I
kind
don't
of like
know.
I'm not smart
porque,
enough to come up with
porque
a
uno
solution.
sufre, todos tienen que sufrir.
Well,
you know,
that's like
they're some shit
communism.
like
Like
that.
communism,
really-
that's the
yeah.
whole thing of
You know,
communism. Like, everybody's the same, but then they.
pero todos jodidos,
But if you're
güey.
fucked, everyone's fucked.
It's because
Ah,
the
no
system
mames.
is
So, I
so
don't
like
know.
fucked up and there's so many loopholes that it's so difficult to fix it from the root that you're kind of just trying to patch holes. So it's
Yeah,
like instead of,
it's
okay, well,
just-
because they're like, well, why don't you just fix the tax system so that the
Right.
rich can't get away with these things? And they're like, well, it's because if we do this and this, it's like, let me just patch this hole.
It's like a
here
sinking
by
a
taxing
sinking
it.
ship
Yeah, and it's like,
with lots of
I
holes.
I mean,
and you're trying to cover each
doesn't
hole.
help that the way we do shit is like we're gonna vote for the person that we think is best.
Yeah.
To make all the decisions, and it's like one fucking guy standing up
Well, I
there.
mean, but that's the
And it's like-
reason why there's.
and then people get discouraged from voting.
But I
so many
am gonna
branches.
vote this time. This go
Yeah, I do
around,
wanna
I am
vote.
gonna vote
vote Kanye West.
because
he is
it's-
running in
Yeah,
2024 or
he is.
some shit.
He-
And he's
'cause,
gonna run as
Independent?
no. His name's gonna be like King Catholic,
That's a lot better.
some shit.
King
Oh my God.
Catholic.
He's gonna change his name to some.
Catholic.
And hold on, and then
That's like a fucking bad wrestler.
King
name.
Kakarot.
I was thinking about how this
King
like taxing
Kakarot.
thing is
King
kind of like
Frieza.
I don't know why I'm making so many references to Mario Kart and shit, but like in Mario Kart, you know how when you're like in
We were
last
playing that
place,
yesterday.
Yeah.
they give you like the special like,
Yeah,
the
to try to
shells
give
or
you
whatever
some
to
shot.
try and like make it
The
equal,
lightning,
right?
the bullet.
Imagine if only first place got blue shells and everything, and everybody in the back didn't get shit.
That's
Right.
communism.
No. That's like what kind of that's
socialism.
kind of how it is now.
Right.
Because all the rich people who are in first place have the blue shells, have all the badass shit, and here the people behind are trying to
Don't
catch
have
up.
anything.
But it's not fair. They have no
But
weapons.
that's why you shouldn't catch up. You shouldn't try and play catch up. Never, because you're never gonna catch up. Like what I feel is the route to take is to once again just better yourself. Like better yourself, and if you stay true to what you believe and to what you think this is the business that's gonna take me there, like take that fucking risk.
work.
Like do it and it'll work out for you because once again we go back to energy. People feel that this is genuine, like it's your passion and it'll flourish definitely 100%. But you're right. I mean, you shouldn't play catch up. Like it's like when you try and hang out with people that are better off than you and they're out there dropping money and you're like, fuck, I gotta catch up to these people. Like you'll end up broke and you'll end up terrible. Like that's why your social fucking group it has to be fortifying to you. It has to help you out. Because if you're hanging out with somebody that just wants to spend their money and they have a grip on their finances, but you don't, and you're trying to spend like them, you're gonna end up in a fucking hole. Like
That's funny how some of the richest people are the ones with the most money problems. Because
Yeah.
they start hanging out with other rich
that's
people.
That's what that book talks about.
There's
How a lot of rich people really go through a lot of anxiety and all the stress and all that because they don't want to lose that wealth.
Yeah.
Or they have a status to maintain, and
Exactly, the
and
status.
they end up worse than
Like
when they
these-
didn't have money.
Like these UFC fighters who are like famous
Yeah.
and they're making money, but they're not making NBA money. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
fuck.
And they're over here hanging out with like dudes, but it's
NBA.
like, hey, you're making 20 million a year. It's like, dude, I'm making 100,000 to fight and 100,000 to win,
That was
and I'm fighting 2 times or 3 times.
Well,
a year.
fucking Anthony Rumble Johnson, he has I think a cousin or brother that plays for the NFL, and he's
Oh,
over here
yeah?
driving Bugattis and shit, and he didn't have that. It came out in one of the countdowns or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck, like I want that shit." Yeah.
Or even John Jones, his brother plays for the Patriots or some shit.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
But isn't it weird that the top echelon, like their whole lineage, like they're doing something crazy, like fucking badass. Like Chris D'Elia, like he's a fucking badass comedian and he got all this exposure. But then I didn't know that his father actually directs movies and all this shit. So I'm like, oh well, this
Dude,
guy had like a
and-
leg up. Like
do you guys know Dave Ramsey is?
Yeah, that money guy.
I like that. I like
The-
what
the
he
guy-
said.
he has a
I like-
cooking
I
show?
like what he said one time. Yeah.
A lot of people have a way in.
I
You're
like
right
what,
though.
I like what he said though about
Definitely.
like what you were talking about, like the money spending. Like, so why if you're a millionaire, why are you spending like a billionaire essentially? Like you don't buy a fucking Ferrari when you're a millionaire.
But that's what I said
you
last
buy that
time.
shit when you're a billionaire.
that's what I said last time. I'm like, how are you gonna buy a $40,000 car
Yeah.
if you're
$40,000
earning
salary.
$40,000 a year?
So,
like,
the
what the
thing
fuck?
is that there was an SNL fucking hilarious fucking skit about it. It was like literally, you're having trouble with your finances. It's like, here's our new fucking program. It's called "Don't Buy Money You Don't Have," or "Don't Buy Shit You Don't." Yeah, like you can't afford.
You can't afford.
And then they were like, "What? I don't understand." And they're like, "Can you explain it to us one more time? You see this boat that you want to buy? You
can't
don't
afford
buy it." And then they're like, "Whoa, okay, you're blowing my mind. I don't understand. Like, please run it through me again."
like
it's-
declaring
like they're-
bankruptcy
like,
and like
for
So you're
real,
saying
they're
I
like-
shouldn't buy this boat? Like, I don't have the money,
Yeah, exactly, but they don't get it. Like,
so I shouldn't buy it.
what should
but then you hear like Joe Rogan says like, yeah, you should buy that car because then it'll drive you to earn more money and all of that. Which
It worked for him.
sometimes it works,
Worked
and
for
then
him.
sometimes it
But
doesn't.
some people are just shitty with money, dude.
It's because watch. This is the thing.
There's too many factors, dude.
In life, there's not one answer to everything.
No.
There never. I mean, unless it's this isn't math. This isn't mathematics. You know what I mean? Life isn't
Because
math. where it's like-
probability has a lot to do with it too.
yeah.
Because you could save all your money and then eventually something happens to your house and you lose all your money.
Yeah.
Or you could spend your money like all the time and then something happens, you get a lucky break and you have even more money. You never know what the fuck's gonna happen.
I think just live by your own fucking code.
yeah,
Do
like
what-
that book says,
die by your
Yeah.
house is not an asset.
He says that.
ass.
Yeah, it's not an asset. Like if you buy a house, like it's
Yeah.
not an asset. Like
It's a
because
necessity, no?
if all of your income is going towards that, like it's not an asset because like that crash or that inflation thing
Oh, right.
where
House
everybody
bubble.
lost their houses and
Right.
everything. Well,
bubble.
guess what? There goes all your money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So what are we saying, guys? Don't eat hot sauce.
don't
Save
need
your
fucking
money
357 Mad
and
Dog.
save your money.
No, don't save money, but
Save some.
be wise about it and how do you spend
I
it.
think you should save some.
I feel like you should
save some.
invest it.
Yes, invest, but also save.
But yeah, definitely.
I do both.
So I'm gonna spend my 401k on a grill.
A grill.
I'm gonna buy a grill.
And
You
don't
want to
buy-
see my what?
And don't buy
Yeah,
fucking brand
your
new
grill.
cars that
Yeah,
you don't.
Yeah, your grill.
Like, come on,
The
man.
whole top diamond and the
You-
bottom rose gold.
You need a fucking car to drive. Why the fuck are you gonna buy a car that's gonna set you back like 5 years of your life?
That's true.
Just buy something that's gonna be affordable, that you can afford, that's gonna get you from
Make
point
it
A
look
to point B.
pretty. Just
And
make
then
it look pretty.
Save your fucking money, man.
I
save that
definitely. You gotta have a pretty good looking. You have a. You have a. You have to have
Dicky.
Little Dicky with
ASAP.
no, the guy without the eye. Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap.
I like
Okay.
I got the dick in a box.
But do make your car look
Okay, that's
pretty.
Andy Samberg.
Definitely. Do make your car look pretty. At least wash your
Do
car.
make your car
Even
pretty.
if it's raggedy, at least wash
And
your
what better
car.
place to wash it than at Greg and Oscar's?
Ultimate car
That's
wash.
our new fucking
Yeah.
business.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, do wash your car. Clean your car, please. Even if it's a shitty
But
car.
of course, but of course,
Are you gonna sing that fucking song? I don't know that song.
But of course,
No me la sé, güey.
This,
No
is
lo voy a
coming,
cantar.
this is coming from 3 assholes that just ate some hot sauce, and I'm about to puke my brains out. So, I get home. So we're gonna end it here. I don't know what you're singing.
Now, first of all,
I don't know,
I ain't gonna touch what they wanna sing. And I'm
I don't know
gonna be
it.
real with you.
Like beatboxing all shitty. Oh, dude. Terricolas podcast.
You know, freaking Herman's waiting for us. Dude, I don't know
the
it.
song.
I
I think you know how we should end it. We should all take a nice. I'm just kidding.
No.
then it
We should all
says-
get some ice cream and put Mad Dog inside the ice cream.
Dude, I even forgot the fucking song.
Dude, I don't know this
I
song.
suck at lyrics so
A
bad.
little bit. Like you still can't learn that baby lock them door and turn. Even though we've sung it so many times.
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low.
Get so happy with
Nah.
I just love it when you go low.
Baby, lock the door.
Nah, fucking. That some you know what I was listening to last time, and I love the beat. The Alicia Keys, one of her first hits. Can't remember. Yeah, that one. That beat to that one is fucking sick. Of love with you, I've never loved someone that I loved you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every time, dude, that's a badass fucking beat.
That is.
I'm still hung up on that
She got a lot of attention because she stopped wearing makeup, and I was like, who gives a fuck?
Cantrell. Yeah,
Blue-
she's
Blue-
delicious.
Blue Cantrell?
Yeah, that song is sick.
Hit 'em up style.
Yeah, that fucking jam, dude. That beat. Every time I hear it, I'm gonna break it down.
That
I'm
was
gonna
like her
start
only
dancing.
hit.
Dude, she actually had like something going with Jay-Z. Blue Cantrell. I went deep into her
Let's
history and
let's
shit.
sing that Chamillionaire song.
That's not Chamillionaire.
Isn't it?
No. That's
Going
Young
down.
Jock.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know my rappers. He's over here listening to it.
Meet me
Oscar.
at the altar in your
Oh, he's still trying to sing that. I don't know.
We don't know
Ain't
the
getting
fucking
younger,
song.
we might as well
I'm ready.
do
I'm
it.
ready to eat.
All right.
Leaving
We're gonna leave you
for a
guys with-
while, girl, I must confess.
We'll leave you with this performance.
Let's get married.
Let's get married.
Meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. Feel you for a while, girl. I must confess. Girl, I wanna get married. Girl, let's just get married.
Let's get married.
Oh,
I wanna fuck you
yeah.
for the rest of my life. Go deep every single night. Put the balls inside. Slub on my knob. Girl, I wanna get married. I wanna get married and make love to you every single day. Put it in deep every single time. Slap them guts.
The altar and your
Yes, to
white
the
dress.
altar.
We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. Been for a while, girl. I must confess. Girl, let's just get married. I just wanna get married. Meet me at the altar. and your white dress.
Meet
at the altar. We might as well do it.
meet
At the altar, girl, I must confess. Girl, I wanna get married. Girl, let's just get married. Meet me at the altar. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it.
If you guys are still here, we love you. Sorry for the ear rape. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Yeah.